Wow. What can you really say? What can you really say? I'm I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to say. It takes a lot to get me speechless. Yeah. Oh my god, bro. Wow. Oh man. I don't know. I don't know what to say, people. I do not know what to say. I'm such at a loss for words. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't I just don't get it. I don't know what's happening. Um yeah, so yeah, this is crazy. I don't I'm just I'm just dumbfounded. What are we doing? I don't, oh man. There's only one person out there that is happy tonight. He ain't in the chat, but David Smith, wherever you at, I know you happy. Jesus. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm such at a loss for words that it's like I'm at the crossroads. I don't want to be that Knick fan that doesn't like something that my team does. But I don't like something that my team has done because I don't get it. What are we doing? What is the point of this? Like, okay, maybe you're saying to yourself, because you're the organization, you understand how this thing is working. You say to yourself, we're not going to be able to meet Julius Randle's number. All right. Maybe that's what you're saying to yourself. We're not going to meet Julius Randle's number. Therefore, we probably have to think about moving Julius Randle. If that's the case, I mean, listen, as fans, we have to accept it. I got to understand it. But when that's the case, you decide to go after somebody in which you know that it's going to take more than Julius Randle. Like, there's so much money owed to Karl-Anthony Towns that Julius Randle's discount contract is not enough, right? Then you have to add Donte Divincenzo. Somebody got to make it make sense for me. Somebody got to make it make sense because I don't understand it. This is one of those things that I told Knick fans when we had these conversations before. I said, when you get into these moments where you're going for a big star, you don't know what's going to have to go in these trades. We think we know what it's going to be. Oh, yeah, they're going to want Julius. But then you got to deal with the money. Like, obviously, it's not enough money. And I'm sorry. I think the Knicks made a really big mistake with this move. Could they change my mind later down the line? And could this be the perfect move? Maybe. But right now, I think the Knicks this might be the first like real move after them already knowing what they're doing and having a good understanding. This might be the first real move that I say that they messed up. Because I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand how you let somebody who made 280 plus threes, who was clutch for you, a really big part of your offense. How do you let him go in a trade like this? Now, maybe you could say that his value wasn't as high because now he's become a bench player, but wouldn't you want your bench to be a solid bench unit? Doesn't he warrant on a good contract making 12 million per year, something like that? Doesn't that warrant having a guy like that who you can come off the bench and give you that type of firepower? And then if you got issues with your starting lineup, you can plug him right in. I don't understand it. I'm lost, Nick fans. I am lost. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I was praising Leon Rose for a lot of the moves and a lot of the things that they've been doing because I said, you know what? They have addressed all of our concerns, all of our issues. Size at the small forward position, defense, adding more defense, wing perimeter defense, 3-point shooting, adding Donte Divincenzo, Deuce improving, Jalen Brunson improving in his three ball. Now adding OG Anunoby, another guy who can knock down corner threes. And now you got Mikal Bridges, another guy who can knock down corner threes. Um, I thought they solidified that 3-point shooting. But even when you solidify something, don't get it twisted. Dante DiVincenzo still is the best 3-point shooter we have on our team. So you're trading away the best 3-point shooter we have on the team, who also is a good defender. I don't understand. I just don't get it. And don't get me wrong, it's not about the Karl-Anthony Towns thing. If you go after Karl-Anthony Towns, do I understand you have to give up stuff like this? Yes. But that's the reason why I wouldn't go after Karl-Anthony Towns, because I'm like, you're gonna have to give up this type of stuff. And isn't that like addition by subtraction? Yeah. The Knicks got themselves a guy who is one of the top scorers in the league when he wants to be, a guy who is a really good rebounder in the league when he wants to be, but for the most part, I would say yes. They also got one of the most efficient shooting big men in the league and an efficient shooter irregardless of the position. But they also got them somebody who's subpar defensively. He has the skills to be good defensively, but he doesn't always show it. And they got themselves a person who they brought in because we don't have a starting center and we don't have a backup center. And you bring in a guy who don't want to play center. I don't understand. I don't understand. I feel like I'm in a horror movie. Uh, I don't have the song for the Twilight Zone, but I definitely would play that right now because I don't know what's going on. I'm so confused. Somebody's got to help me. This I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. Uh, yeah. Let me see what the chat is saying because maybe you guys have a better idea. Um, you know what? I don't get it. I'm gonna I'm gonna oh no. CP the artist really summed it up right there. That's what I don't get it, brother. I don't get it. What? And we are in the second apron. Are you kidding me? You mean we stuck with these dudes? No. Hmm. I don't get it. Before I continue, once again, if you are just tuning in, um, New York Knicks have traded. Let me put that up again. My fault. I apologize. Once again, New York Knicks have traded Donte Divincenzo and Julius Randle for Karl-Anthony Towns. Yeah, and Jalen Brunson doesn't know what to say about it either. I don't even know, like, how do these guys feel? How does Josh Hart feel about this? How does Mikal Bridges feel about this? How does Donte DiVincenzo feel about this? Like, I don't understand. I don't I don't I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, this is the whole point is to build a championship contender, and we know we got holes. You trying to tell me, look, I think Julius Randle is one of the best players in the league. He has all of the ability in the world. Sometimes he doesn't put it on display. Sometimes he doesn't show it. You trying to tell me that you couldn't address your center needs without going after Karl-Anthony Towns? You couldn't get another center in the league by offering up Julius Randle? Is that what you're telling me? Is Karl-Anthony Towns the only person you could have got? The guy who doesn't even want to play center, that's the guy you got? And you had to give up Donte DiVincenzo as well. And listen, the trade's not done, guys. You guys know that the trade's not done because there was still more money that had to be made up. Now, I have since learned that I think the Charlotte Hornets might be involved in the trade as well because the money's not matching, so they needed to get a third team. I think the Knicks are trading the rights to Daquan Jeffries as well. Let me see if they have a new updated trade because they're still working on this. Let's see if there's a new updated trade that says what's going on right now because this is too much, man. Oh boy. Let's see. Up to the minute. Who's got it up to the minute, folks? Let's go with the hmm. Let's check. Let me check this one out. New York Times, what they got? What they got? Um, if they have something good, I'll put it on the screen so everybody could see it. But this oh yeah. No, it looks like this yeah, let's take a look at this. All right. I'll share this with you guys as because I'm just disgusted. Can't deal. I cannot deal. Um Shout out to 713 Gamer live action news here. Yeah, we Johnny on the spot right now. This is nuts. Manny in the buildings. Nobody saw this coming. You read about that, brother. JT Riddick, what's good, bro? This is crazy. Nothing makes sense to me, bro. Supporting page, emergency alert, emergency. This is not a drill. Yo, this is nuts. Yeah, this is David Smith called it. David Smith. I don't know. Maybe David Smith knows more than we know because he was right. Yeah, man. Listen, if I put this in a shot glass, you think this is something else, but it's just tea. But I need a double of this. Ron B's in the building. He says, I am not happy Devo is gone. I hear you, man. And Prezi, we're gonna get through it. I don't know how, but we're gonna get through it. Everybody on every platform is looking for the prophet David Smith. Yeah. This is nuts. I am Big Buddy in the building, so I like to trade, but I like Ragu. Hard to lose. This is tough, guys. Don't get me wrong, I get it. Like I said, I understand. If you're going after Karl-Anthony Towns, you gotta give up what it takes. But that's why I wouldn't go after Karl-Anthony Towns. That's the only point I'm trying to make here. There's no reason that the Knicks couldn't have got a starting caliber center from another team giving up Julius Randle. There's no reason that couldn't have worked. I don't know what's going on here. I don't get it. Shout out Marshall L. He says, I question Cat's fire in the playoffs. I don't know how to feel. Yeah. Babyface Lacosta in the building. Shake my head. I get it. I get it, bro. The sporting page says, "Where's the Michael Scott scene when Toby rolled up?" Yeah, this is nuts, bro. Yeah, David Smith is in La La Land right now. Good for him. I mean, listen, shout out to him. He wanted that. He's getting what he wants, and I hope it works out. Uh, Marshall L says the trade makes sense. We don't have Mitch. We can't rely on Mitch. Yeah, from a standpoint of getting a guy who can come in and help us, yes, the trade makes sense. But I'm going back to it again. This trade is more than just giving up Julius Randle. A lot of us didn't even want to give up Julius Randle, but you're going to tell me that if you're going to make the trade and you got to give up Julius, now you throw Donte in there too. That's a problem for me. And you bring in a guy who don't even want to play center. I think that's the biggest part that's being missed here. We're bringing in a dude who didn't even want to play center. Not even for his own team that he was basically the founding member of. Like, I mean, he was they were building around him. He didn't want to play center. And now we're bringing him here because we don't have a center. And we already call him soft. He's meow mix. Come on, man. Can't deal with this. I cannot deal with this, bro. This dude is meow mix. I don't, he's gonna have to make me a believer. You giving up, like, you say that whatever you feel about it. He's like the heart and soul of this team when you're talking about Julius Randle. Whether you like him or not, it is what it is. And you're gonna have to give this guy up and bring in this meow meow mix dude. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I hope he comes here, and he balls out. I really do. I really do. But he gonna have to. And the bad thing is, like, the Knicks is setting him up to to have a lot of pressure on him and a lot of angry fans looking at him like he's the answer. You made us we traded Julius Randle and Donte Divincenzo for you. You better be everything. That's how fans are gonna look at it. And he has a bad game, they're gonna kill him. Not literally, guys. Words mean things. Not literally. Um uh Yeah, I don't know. Just Knicks is in the building. He says, "I like it." I mean, I don't know. I can't. Like I said, I'm. What we talked about this multiple times. I don't love the trade, but John and I both said if it happens, we'll get over it, and eventually we'll learn to like it. But we were in the impression that we'd be giving up Julius Randle, not Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo. This is a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother thing. Salute to my brother Andios in the building. What up, Andios? Good to see you, my bro. Please support Andios on Instagram. Show him some love. Andios NYK. He funny stuff and positive stuff, and I definitely think we're gonna need some positive stuff going forward. Because this ain't it for me. Trish D is in the building. Salute, Ron. I'm sick, man. This was not only the dumbest move, it was the most disrespectful move. Yeah, this is rough, man. You mean to tell me that my man Julius Randle, all he's talked about was trying to bring a championship to New York. I want to win one here. I don't mind deflecting. I don't mind being second fiddle to Jalen Brunson. The other day he said, "I'll do whatever it takes as long as we're doing it to win. I'll do whatever it takes." All this stuff. You have a freaking new school opening in the Bronx. They got a basketball court. You have my man out there rocking with your peoples. They dedicate the basketball court to him. And then the next day you trade him. Mm. It's a cold, cold world, y'all. This is a cold, cold world. Business is business. This is cold. I don't know. JW's in the building, says this is a big trade. It's something. Objective Knicks fan says, "Wait, what?" Exactly. That's what I say. What? I never saw this coming. I see you. I hear you, JW. This is nuts. Angel Torres is in the building. What up, Angel? He says, I don't like this trade. I hear you, brother. D Coolest, what's good? Says salute, Ron. What's going on, brother? Sam says, I'm lost by this trade currently. Hope I'm wrong. Yeah. Robert Woodard says, good point, Ron. Yo, yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Brezzy says exactly the whole reason they traded for Gobert. Like, what are we doing here? We brought a fish over here, bro. This dude's a guppy. All right, I'm sorry. I don't want to keep going because I know there's going to be a lot of negative takes on this trade. I know. And I'm still not going to be happy about this trade until I see something different. Because this is just bad. This got bad written all over it. It's got a bad taste in a lot of our mouths because of how this is going down. And then you doing that. They just said they named the court after my man in the Bronx. Yet, like, what are we doing? This is wild. And yes, and Cat is due 50 million each of these next seasons. Yes. I think one of them seasons he's going up to close to damn near 60, like 55, whatever. Like, yo. Oh yeah. No, I don't doubt that. Yeah, Sporting Page, shout out to you, bro. He said word on the street is Randle's gonna be shipped from Minnesota. They're trying to get under the apron. Sources come literally from downstairs in the hallway. I mean, I don't doubt that they would try to flip him and move him again. And but he also might have a chance to win a championship over there too. They got a good team. This is nuts, man. Hold on. Yeah. Let me just do this. Let me see what my man says here. Shout out to you, Sam. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to D Cooler says in my Rico voice, I don't like this ish. I hear that. New York Sports Chalk says, makes sense. Oh, wait, hold on. Makes sense, Ron. Julius is not a center and couldn't take us to the promised land. Let's be optimistic about Cat. We are a better team now. Are we, bro? Are we? Are we? Because I'm not sure. We got a guy in Karl-Anthony Towns who, as far as efficiency, is one of the most efficient bigs in the league, a very efficient player. But as far as statistics, numbers, like actual numbers, Julius Randle was scoring more than him. He was rebounding more than him. He was getting more assists than him. And they were playing the same position because remember, Karl-Anthony Towns was a power forward for Minnesota. He wasn't a center. So what are we doing? That's what I just don't understand. Like, you need a center, then get a center. You don't have to go get Karl-Anthony Towns. What is this freaking obsession with Karl-Anthony Towns all of a sudden? Like, his name has been floated in our mix for how long? And each time we think it went away, it comes back. So there's obviously some connection, some love affair with Karl-Anthony Towns. I'm confused. Hold on. Let me got us a super chat. Y'all know what that means. Let me show some love to this real quick, and then so shout out to my guy, the 713 gamer. Appreciate you, my brother. He says live from the gridiron. Smash that like, yo. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, man. Mm. This is it's a tough one, man. But appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. On a night like this, it's crazy. I was all set, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do my show tomorrow. I'm about to chop it up. We're gonna talk about this, and then all of a sudden, this happens, and then I'm like, man, I can't even wait till tomorrow. I got to get on tonight. Can't not talk about this right now. How I'm feeling. Let me get my guy Sam in here. Sam,
Bro, why? Why? I was, like you, I was just enjoying my night. You know, I have to admit, when somebody's right, they're right. Coach, sorry, you were right, man. I didn't want you to be right, but you were right. And the Knicks pulled the trigger. Where we go from here, I don't really know. I mean, it's gonna be very tough road. I just put it that way, man. I don't know what the plan is. Like, are we going OG at the 4? Like, what's the deal? Like, what are we? What's the lineup looking like? Because Mitch isn't there till December. You lost your arguably your best scorer off the bench now. Where's the shooting coming from for replacement? I don't really know. I mean, what was he shooting? 41%. We relied on him in the postseason as well. That's gonna need to be replaced. I don't know with the Knicks. I'm hoping they're not expecting Landry Shamet to do that. I'm really hoping that he doesn't see any burn actually. So yeah, I don't know, Unc. I'm in a bad way, man, because it's just rough. And to see that for a guy who literally, like I said in the chat in all caps, got benched in the postseason. This is a guy who we're paying 50 mil that the Timberwolves literally benched for Nas Reed in the postseason. And they still lost that series. I don't know how to feel, but right now I feel indifferent in hopes that obviously he does good for us, but I don't know, man. I'm not feeling too good about it.
Yeah, I hear you. Hold on, let me bring my guy Nice in here. What up, Nice?
Hey, hey.
Why is he looking excited? You saw what just happened, Nice. Ain't nothing to smile about.
I'm just smiling because, bro, I still can't believe it. Bro, I couldn't wait for 30 more days. I couldn't wait for 29. Now in 28. At least they did something great. Now I don't have that level of excitement. Like, you know something? Whenever it happens, I don't even care no more. Like what they actually did is so wrong in so many levels. It's bad juju. That's when bad juju
Literally.
in a certain team. That is literally how it actually starts. A player that actually took a pay cut, then it's time to pay him, and you couldn't do the same thing that you did to RJ. Pay him and then trade him. Hey, at least we paid you.
Yeah.
I'm
Listen,
just confused because it's like Dante's on a discount. He's not even overpaid for what he gave to you last year, and you ship him off with the swiftness. Who's the replacement? I'm not disregarding Deuce McBride, but he's not Dante. I'm sorry.
Bro, the way I was seeing it is like, you know something? We could ride with it. At least we have something good going on. We have everybody except Mitchell Robinson healthy back again. This is the first time that we're gonna start seeing a team that this is the first time in so long that we never seen a team so well constructed, but they never got the chance to play with one another with all of them playing healthy. And we couldn't wait to see how everything rolled.
yeah. I mean, here's what I don't understand. This is what I'm wondering. Now that you ship off Devo, right? Now the good thing, now I saw, I don't know who was it, maybe it was JJ, who said something about the bench. Shout out to you, JJ. Uh yeah. He says, salute Ron. The bench looks real mediocre now, losing Dante. Where's the scoring coming from now?
Hmm.
So I understand that, right? And my whole thing is now this does open the door for Deuce, right? Because now Deuce is going to be asked to do a lot more offensively. He has stepped up and shown some improvement. His percentages are definitely really good. Do I think he is on the level of a Dante? No, but he has a moment to step into a new role and new pressure because now what he showed last year, now we're counting on you to continue that. But you know who this really opens the door for? And
Mm.
if I'm right, I'm not, no, I don't know, but if I'm right, that's going to say a lot too. This really does open the door for Kolick, right? Because now Kolick can be the backup point guard and Deuce can be the two. And both those guys can get the playing time. Because if they're really high on this kid, and we know he can score a little bit too, I don't know, man. It could be worse.
Honestly, to be honest with you, like 100%, I'm not even necessarily mad about. I feel like I won't be as upset as days go on, but for me, it's just Cat is just too inconsistent for what he's about to get paid. Because the T-Wolves did the right thing. They shipped his I'm sorry, it's family show. They shipped him off before the extension kicks in. He's getting 50 plus per these next 3 years. Nobody on the team is making that. He's gonna have to, show why he's getting paid that. And like you said, he's pretty much, fans are gonna be on his head regardless because we just gave away Julius Randle for you. And we saw how much fans gave Julius Randle, and Julius Randle was averaging 20, 10, and 6. So if you don't do at least close to that, or at least play, over half the season this year, I don't see it aging well.
Hey, the only thing I'm just gonna say, I just hope all my Cinderella's dreams never comes true. But I hope that for some reason Julius Randle ends up in the Knicks. Like the good thing that the Knicks has is that a player could play for the Knicks, they go to another team, but for some reason they end up back to the Knicks. If that's the case, cool. But it's just like you said, my brother, 50 mil, huh? I don't know, man. It's like everything is so bad.
Here's another. Let me bring my other brother in here. What up, Sha?
What's going on?
Shaw, why they do this to us, man? We was in good spirits, bro.
I just want to say this. I'm not so upset, and I kind of seen it coming. But one thing that you just said, Ron, that is so true. Tyler Kolek is going to get some minutes now. And why we all shooting down Deuce McBride? He shot 42% last year. He's a hell of a defense guy.
He did.
Where he was going to get minutes from, with Divincenzo on the court. So now that Divincenzo is going, Deuce gets some burn. Deuce gonna have to be playing where he went to the summit and all that stuff. He better bring all that summit, or wherever he went to France and all that stuff. He better bring that to the court this year. And now we're gonna see a little bit more time for Kolek. We probably won't see much of Cat. Come on, and I understand a lot of fans, and I'm surprised. I'm kind of happy surprised. I'm not saying that he's a better player, but if he can stay healthy with the team that he has here, this is a perfect matchup if we end up coming against Boston in the finals. Cat going against Porzingis, we match up well against this team, even with Boston. I mean, even with Philly, we match up very well with Philly. And Cat will play some center this year, no doubt about it.
He's gonna have to.
I think we're going to come out to see what Jericho Sims could do this year too. Let's be hopeful for Jericho Sims, because if Jericho Sims could fit in with Cat, and then we got 40% shooters around the perimeter, we're gonna be an okay team. And I'm just trying to get us set for it, because if we don't start thinking positive now, because Cat got to come in here and play some basketball, bro, and the guys that he got on the corners got to hit shots.
Shaw, who would have thought that I would have been in the right direction of we have to hope and pray that Jericho Sims takes a leap, bro.
I'm just saying that's how we're going to start the season. And when Jericho's not that good, then you're going to see Cat slide down there. Then we're going to bring Josh Hart in or Deuce McBride.
I didn't want this for real. I was being optimistic.
I'm not saying I thought one of the trades that I had put out there was Cat from Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson. You know what I mean? For that money. But they got it with Divincenzo. You know what I mean? They did get it with Divincenzo. We're going to suffer in the second unit, but I'm not giving up on Deuce. I'm not, and with this happening, Kolek, everybody's talking about Tyler Kolek. We're going to see what he's going to bring to the team. We're going to see what he's going to bring on the team now, because he's going to get minutes, 7 to 12 minutes a night. Guaranteed.
You know, I'm the president of the fan club. I hope that we're right. I hope you're right, because
I'm hoping
Deuce is gonna have to shoot that clip. He's gonna have to shoot that clip like Donte did, bro. He's gonna have to shoot 50% on all them shot attempts a night, because he hasn't been doing that. So we haven't seen that yet. He's gonna have to do that
He
before I
is.
say, "Oh, I hope he does." He's gonna have to
He
show that.
is. He's
Hey
gonna have to
Sam,
make those fancy passes and all that stuff he's been doing.
just
We're gonna
if
need
I
that.
was the president of a fan club, just because of what happened today, yeah, starting from this moment, the fan fan club is disabled for good. Because I understand what you're saying, Shaw, but I'm the only thing I'm just keeping it straight is we never gave this team an opportunity to play with one another with not seeing them unhealthy. The only one that is injured right now is Mitchell Robinson, but we never seen Julius Randle, and the only time we actually got to see is the only good record that we had in that stretch.
Yeah.
And we still had time. We still had time to trade anything by December or January, whenever is the time. We still had time, but at least, man, just give us that gratitude because, man, when we have something going on for ourselves, something always happen. We have a disgruntled player. He doesn't want to be there, and then everything trickles down. But come on, this whole team wanted to play with each other. This whole
We
team
wanted to
was happy,
I
and it's
wanted to
that.
see it.
But you understand where I'm coming from, right?
Yes,
Shah, it's like
yes.
just give us the opportunity because I understand that anything can happen. Another team could get involved and it can make it even harder. I understand, but you have something beautiful going on right now.
Let me
Who's
do
to say?
this.
Let's all. The reason why I
Hold,
came on
hold,
tonight.
hold on, Shaw. Hold on,
I'm
Shaw.
sorry.
Hold
I'm
on.
sorry.
Hold on
I'm
one
sorry.
second.
I'm sorry.
Let me just read a
I'm
couple
You're right.
things. I know you hype. I get it. I get it. Let me read a couple things and let me just put this up so everybody knows what it is. First off, let me just say what's up to Freeman 48. He says ESPN has Cat as the starting center on the depth chart. They could put him wherever they want to put him. It's about what he has in here because here is what I question. I don't know if he got it in him. We're gonna find out though. Shout out to Stephen Hewitt. What up, brother? He says, Bulls fan really can't see anyone beating the Knicks in a 7-game series. I mean, it all depends on what it looks like and how Cat buys in. I mean, don't get me wrong. If Cat buys into the center spot and does what Cat does, the Knicks are going to be a really tough team to deal with. But here's the thing that I was just thinking about. Who's the shooting guard, guys? Because if Julius is gone, that means OG goes to the power forward. Mikal becomes the small forward. Who's the shooting guard?
You know what I told you, Unc?
Deuce.
They might not even do that, bro. They might ship him down to the shooting guard. I didn't want to see that because I don't like OG playing the 4 long term. Why? Injury risk. But that might be what we have to do. You might
I
have
don't know
to
about
put him
this.
down.
I don't know
Either
about
that or
this.
they bump Josh Hart up. I don't know. That's all the
I
options.
think
Josh Hart is not a shooting guard.
Right,
though.
exactly. So they got to do Mikal or Deuce. That's the only options.
I think we got a sleeper in our team. A sleeper. I'm talking about like somebody that could pop, and if he pops, he's gonna be a legend. And I'm being honest. I'm thinking about Deuce. Deuce,
Well,
like if you start looking at other teams that now they pushing on him, I'm telling you.
actually, you know what? I just started thinking about it. I'm tripping. I know what they're gonna do. The Josh Hart is getting the position, but he's not getting the shooting guard position. He's gonna be the small forward, and Mikal Bridges is gonna be the shooting guard. That's what they're gonna do. It's still gonna be the same thing we thought. Is Josh Hart is gonna be a starter? He's gonna play that 3. He's gonna give them what they. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do.
I need to see that bench unit because
Mm-hmm.
what is that bench
Yeah,
unit? I'm at the starter, but that bench unit is saying no.
I know.
I think we still have 2 positions to pick up, right? We gave away 2 players and we had an opening position. So we had 14, we gave away 2, that brought it down to 12. And so we still got 3 open positions. So we got some time, right? Oh, well, we bringing Cat back.
Well,
so
no.
we still have 2. We bringing Cat back. So we
Didn't
still
we
have
just
2.
get
No, we got
right.
here.
2.
We just signed
We're
Marcus
bringing
Morris
Cat back.
Right. Well, but technically we have 2 positions, right? Marcus Morris or Landry Shamet was going to fight for the other position, right? Now, basically, you can keep both of them if that's what they want to do. I think they might have to do that because I think this, with the money, this might put us into the second apron and we stuck. We can't do anything else. That's what someone else said earlier. I'm going to have to look at it myself, but I think he might be right. I think we might be in the second apron now, y'all. And so, therefore, this is the team, if that's the case.
I have a feeling like the Knicks was trying to push Mitchell Robinson in that trade instead of Julius Randle.
I'm going to say this now. Mitchell Robinson may be gone before the year's up.
Man,
I mean, before the season starts. Mitchell
Robinson
Robinson
be able to play.
And
might as well get Robert
if you look,
Williams.
Mitchell Robinson and Diop Bates is what, 17 million. Now you're looking in the realms of Clint Capella now for a center position, because Cat doesn't really like playing the center, which I think he can. I hope he can, but he more so likes to play that power forward position. And if we could get another center down there, Valanciunas is in that realm now. If you want to get a Valanciunas, or I think Mitch is gone.
You imagine,
and I think they're going to make a move for him and Bates with 17 million. That's about 17 million right there. You know,
would it be surprising if that is the case? And wouldn't it be surprising if that is the case and they still wind up trading Mitch and someone else and wind up getting the center that they want to have as a backup, possibly starting center, and then they wind up getting him and putting him in the starting center, and Cat still plays the power forward? I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks would do something like that.
It's just crazy to see.
I mean, I think that's what Cat position is, really, right? He played power forward and with Gobert. He was power forward. Gobert was a center.
Now, last time I heard, the deal is still not over. And I heard
they're
Charlotte
trying to finalize it. Yeah. All right. Being that you're saying that nice, let me bring this up real quick. Let me read it and then you can continue. Oh boy. Okay, so let me make this a little bigger. There you go. All right, guys. This is what's going on right now. If you've been living under a rock, the Knicks are currently trading Julius Randle, Donte DiVincenzo, and a first-round pick to Minnesota for Karl-Anthony Towns.
Detroit's first round, I think it is.
Oh my God, it just gets worse.
That's the protection one. It wasn't gonna matter, but that's all.
But why? Yeah. Is it the Pacheco and Randall?
It just gets worse.
Bro. I think it's the Detroit one. It's not the
so. All right, so that's what they're doing. They're trading Randle DiVincenzo, first round pick to Minnesota for Karl-Anthony Towns. Blah blah blah. New York Knicks are nearing a trade for all-star big man Karl league sources. Blah blah blah. Knicks will send the Minnesota to a package in and around Julius Randle Donte and a future first-round pick. Towns is 28. Blah blah blah. 21.8, 8.3 rebounds. Okay, there's more to this. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Here we go. Knicks will also send Daquan Jeffries and future draft compensation to the Charlotte Hornets as part of the trade, league sources tell The Athletic.
Oh, they still had Jeffries.
Mm-hmm.
They still got
the rights to him.
Oh, his rights. Okay. Oh, all right.
So I'm just confused, right? Because I don't know how much they was paying Daquan Jeffries. Unless this is a cash thing and the Charlotte Hornets are making up the difference in the trade, because apparently the Knicks and just Donte DiVincenzo and Julius Randle isn't enough money to get Karl-Anthony Towns. The money don't match, right? So unless we're missing something, what Charlotte has a role in this, we don't know what Charlotte is giving up, right? Maybe it's just money. I don't know how that works, or maybe they're giving Minnesota a player, but I don't get what's happening here. Now, here's a wild one. No, would it be wild if there's more to this trade that we don't know about? Like, forget it. I'm doing I got NBA 2K on the brain right now. You
do it wrong because what else you gotta say?
Because I'm saying, like, the only way that you could make me feel better about this trade is if somehow we was getting one of Charlotte's centers.
Richardson.
No, it has to be Richardson. It has to be. If it's not him, because Mark Williams can't even play right now, so he's in a Mitch category. It has to be Nick Richards and money too.
If it's Richardson, at least it feels better. But still, man,
Like
I'm still bugged.
I gotta hold out, bro, because you remember last time we saw a trade like this, we were upset. We wound up seeing RJ and quickly go for OG, and some of us were still like, oh wow. And they gave up a second round, and then we found out we were getting Precious, and we felt a little better, and we were getting the other kid, and we were like, oh well, maybe we'll see. And then they started playing, and we was like, okay, it's not as bad as we thought, right?
Hey,
I'm just hoping somehow Nick Richards is involved in this trade, and we haven't heard about it yet.
hey, Ron, after I heard what they ended up paying quickly, oh no, you know something? I started feeling better because at least we wish the best for quickly, but man, we already know the Knicks ain't gonna pay that type of money, so hey, it worked out.
This is another thing I don't understand, and I'll get right back to you, Shah, because I'm sorry, I know I cut you off. Shout out to Wonder Woman. She said, I had a rough work week and this does not help. I hear you. I hear you. No, but I get it, JD. Like he said, I really don't care about Randle, more upset about Devo. That's where I'm at too. Don't get me wrong. I'm upset about the fact that you traded Julius Randle. But as I said before, from a business standpoint, if you felt that you weren't going to be able to meet what Randle wanted, or felt like, oh, we know you're going to want a lot of money and we just don't feel like we can give you that money. That's one thing. I can understand you saying, let's trade Julius Randle. But the fact that you had to include Devo is hard for me to accept, even though I know it makes sense for Cat. That's why I said, go for someone else. Don't go for Cat. Okay, fine. But this is what I want to tell you guys, and this is going to really put the icing on the cake for me. Shout out to D-Raz. He said, catastrophe. This is crap. Yeah, man. I know. This is a rough one. Coach Sai says, I've been telling y'all. Yeah, I know, Coach. Shout out to Kareem. What up, Twin? He said, I'm shocked. I hear you, bro. This is just one of those things. Hey, my brother is in the building. What happened? What's happened, Elvin? My guy, the executioner himself. He said the Knicks got fleeced for a one-dimensional player. Yeah, you never liked Cat. I know. No, I'm not happy, bro. But we're gonna see what happens. Animal Lex is in the building. Salute to you. Appreciate you, my brother. And I think I see something. We got something else here. Shout out to my guy Paris Doug in the building. He said, good or bad. Thank you for the generous super chat, by the way. He said, good or bad, this is a nightmare. Athleticism lost. Yeah, this is wild. All right, hold on. I'm gonna get to my point in 2 seconds. Let me just get a little pulse of a couple more people in the chat. The Public Enemy #1 in the building said, what have Towns done in Minnesota exactly? D-Raz says, a wildcat for a putty cat. It's on you, Tibbs. DSJ's in the building. What up, Delano? Appreciate you, bro. Hope you're doing well. This is crazy. I don't know what to say about this. Salute to G Robinson in the building. He said, besides injuries, Cat is better than Randle in every statistical category besides assist, and it's not by much. So let's see. He is not better than him in points scored, in rebounding. I mean, currently. Career-wise is different, but Randle's had better numbers as far as points. He's got better numbers as far as rebounds, and the assist is right there. But the other thing is, efficiency-wise, yes, Cat is more efficient. He shoots way better than Randle. That's not even close. John Smith is in the building. He said Mikal Bridges. I think you were talking about that. That was probably our conversation when we were talking about who's going to play shooting guard. I hear you. Divine is in the building. What up? Knicks Real Talk is in the building. You know how we do. Appreciate you, bro. Look, man, your guy Shy is here. He's trying to calm us down, man. I don't know, bro.
Trying, man. I just got on the phone with Divine. He didn't help me strong, so I said, let me try to give you some of this too, because we can't be so negative, because Cat is not a bad player, man. He's a very, very good player, man. And with this team that he got, with these two wings that we're gonna have, man, he's gonna make him a better player. We may still have to figure out a center position, and like you said, maybe this Nick Richards is in this deal because Charlotte got some. I didn't even see that before, but I'm trying to amp that on now too. You know, that's hyperbole. I'm a little amp. I think Cat is going to bring a different dynamic to the team, and I'm not trying to down Randle on his way out, but who knows what that shoulder really going to be like the rest of the season. You know what I mean? And I think the Knicks thought of the shoulder and $57 million for Julius Randle over the next 5 years. And I mean, I think that was the thing. You know what I mean? 50-something million over the next 5 years. We got capped for 3 years with $50 million. I mean, per year
right.
about. You know what I mean?
This is. I think you're right, bro.
That could be it. The hurting part though, I feel it. I didn't like the Devo. I thought my trade was for Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle. You know what I mean? And find somebody to bring in for Mitchell Robinson. But Devo's gonna hurt now, and it's gonna really hurt in the second unit. But there's also a Deuce in that second unit, man, and he played well last year. You know what I mean? The year before that, we all screamed about how he played in the G League, and he did that last year. And now, like I said, he went to that summit in France or wherever that summit is, and hope he brings some of that game over here this year because him and we will see some Kolick. Everybody want to see what this young boy can do. I was ready to trade him for before he gets hot because he has the signs of can be a really good backup point guard in that second unit. I think Deuce is sliding into that 2 position. I think Deuce is going right. He's not a point guard. He's a point guard in the shooting guard's body. I mean, a shooting guard in the point guard's body. I mean, he's more of a shooting guard. He can knock down that shot. 42% last year. I think he's gonna help us with what we're gonna miss from Divincenzo. You know what I mean? And let's not forget, Deuce almost got the record last year too. What he had 11 3-pointers in the game just after Devo did it. He almost knocked him out. Let's hope that he can still bring some of those things, man. We have to hope that Deuce steps up. And I'll say it again: if we don't get a center, Jericho Sims, this is your time. This is your time because if Jericho Sims lacks, then we'll look towards December for Mitchell Robinson to be gone. I think Mitch is gone, man. I think Mitch is out of here. Mitch is out of here. The last of that old regime. The last of the old regime is the last one. He's the eldest tenured. He's the eldest guy on the team. He's older than everybody on the team. He was from the prior regime. I think he's gone.
Shout out to D. Coolest. He says Kolick is not playing over campaign. Listen, man, I'm not going to say never about anything these days. They just traded Julius Randle and Donte Divincenzo. So, I think we are the ones who we getting caught up in Tibbs's ways, and this team ain't moving like that. This team is moving the way they want to move. We don't even know what they got planned because for them to go bring in Karl-Anthony Towns and trade Donte and Julius is saying a lot. It's saying a lot. Shout out to Dan in the building. What's good, bro? He said, I also think that Dadier is going to surprise people towards the second half of the season, and Kevin McCullough will grow as well. Listen, what I will say is, I don't know about Dadier. Dadier probably ain't playing at all this year, no matter what happens. But Kevin McCullough, like, I could see the Knicks deciding to have Kolick run the point, have Deuce as the 2, have a combination of, Shamet and Mook Morris in there somehow off the bench, or it's Precious. You know what I mean? I'm just saying whoever plays better, Precious, Sims, or Mook Morris, they'll figure that out. Obviously you give Sims the nod first, and then and Precious as well, but we'll see because. The other thing could be the Knicks decide to play Sims at center and still use Karl-Anthony at the like they got so many different things they could do this and then keep Josh Hart on the bench, and then we got to see what they do, man. I don't know. I'm just so dumbfounded and lost right now. I don't even know what to say. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. This is crazy to me. I've seen a lot of things that I've never thought I'd see, and this is one of them things. It's one thing for me to watch them trade RJ, I got it. It's another thing for them to see them trade Julius. And even though I don't love it, I understand. I just did not want them to go after a guy that would require us giving up somebody else like a Donte. And also, so this is my point. This is the one. Remember, I told you there was a kicker, right? This is the icing on the top. So what you mean to tell me is you want to put us in the best possible position to win a championship. So you go out and grab Karl-Anthony Towns, who was on the Minnesota Timberwolves, who had one of the best records in the league, who were on their way to finals contention. And they couldn't get there with Karl-Anthony Towns. He got the team built around him. He got Anthony Edwards, a budding superstar. He's got Gobert playing the center, so he don't have to. They got Jalen McDaniels or whatever, another strong defender. They got all these pieces. You telling me that you think you're going to bring that guy from over there who had that, and he's going to come to the Knicks, and now all of a sudden we're going to be better, and we're going to be able to win it? Like, what is going on here? I'm so confused.
Bro, I'm gonna say it again. This dude, and I'm really hoping I'm wrong, guys. I hope I'm not being negative. This guy was benched in the postseason for Naz Reid. We just traded for a guy that was benched. He could not even close out the games. Minnesota did not trust him. He was that much of a liability to them that they would rather have had Naz Reid on the court in a series that they were losing. They still didn't want Cat on the court.
Yep.
I mean, I just don't. I hope I'm wrong. Like I said, I really hope I'm wrong. I really hope Deuce McBride turns into whoever he's going to be, an elite player at the shooting guard position, because we're going to need that. Because we can't afford to start Josh Hart, because how the heck are we getting boards off the bench? You got to keep Josh Hart on the bench. I know people don't want to hear that. Josh Hart is going to have to be the sixth man now. That's what it's going to have to be. And as much as I don't want to say it, unless we don't do a move like Shaw's talking for Clint Capella or Nick Richards or somebody who's going to fill the void for whenever Mitchell Robinson decides that the Knicks can clear him, then we have no center. Meaning that OG is going to have to play the 4. Meaning that Mikal Bridges is probably at the 3. Do I have an issue with that? Not necessarily, but I do have a problem with it if we're talking long term. OG at the 4 long term is not good. That's no bueno. That means OG banging in the paint with, we already know he's due to get hurt. It's not even it's not even a knock on him. He's just due to get hurt at the 4. I think it's just too physical, and I'd rather to see him at the 3. So I'm really hoping that the Knicks find a way to get somebody. And I'd rather see guys play their actual position, because the out of position thing, I see it working for a very small amount of games. But in the long term, no.
Yeah, this is wild stuff right now. We're gonna have to see some stuff really play out for us to get around this trade, like, and start feeling good about it. This is a tough one, and see. So listen, all them Knick fan haters out there, we're gonna see what it turns out to be, and then all the Julius Randle haters, the ones who wanted him out. Well, you got your wish. Now let's see if you're gonna regret it or not. We're gonna have to see. But
Ron.
like, and go ahead, nice. Go ahead.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I want to be fair to Karl-Anthony Towns, even though, like I said, I already have enough history and feelings about the guy that I don't trust it. But I want to be fair because he's a Knick, and we want our Knicks to win, and he's not like he's a bad player. But I gotta see that inner grit, and I don't want to see no fake dude either, because he already wild to me. He talks to himself. He got another ego. That gets him hype. I don't want him coming to the Knicks and think he got to be a thug. Oh, I'm in New York, I got to be tough. No, you're not that guy. You are Meow Mix. I just want him to play good basketball.
Who on the matchup between Karl-Anthony versus MB? Who wins that matchup? Whenever you guys be seeing them play.
You know what? I'm gonna assume I know who that is, but I'm gonna go check. Let me check right now. Go ahead, Sam. You know who?
I know who. And the thing about it is, if we don't have, that's what I'm saying, guys. If we don't get a center, this is just bad business, guys. We saw this dude get benched. He could not stay on nobody, Aaron Gordon or Joker. So now you want this dude to guard these other bigs. I think he's good being a guy that plays the power forward. I think he can be a good defender there. But if we're relying on him for rim protection, that's where I see the problem. I don't think Cat's a piss poor defender. I just think that similar to Randle, he takes plays off, and that's his problem. He has the capability, but he takes the plays off, and I don't want to rely on that for rim protection for multiple games.
Yeah, but that pass of Julius Randle, I'm telling you right now, Julius Randle haters, they gonna be missing him very soon because that close to a triple double, you kind of don't see it in many players.
And you're not gonna see, like Sherwin just said, you're not gonna see him on Embiid because you know why they got Gobert there, because they don't want to see him on Embiid because we all know what's gonna happen. That's not a good matchup for him at all.
And just so you guys know, this is just numbers, but once again, it goes to the point that this is just the games that they're playing against each other. Does not have nothing to do with their head-to-head matchup. So, Karl-Anthony Towns averages 21.4 points, 10.4 rebounds, and 2.2 assists in 11 games versus Joel Embiid in his career. Joel Embiid has averaged 28.6 points, 9.7 rebounds, and 3.2 assists in 11 games versus Karl-Anthony Towns. So in essence, Joel Embiid has bested him. If they play each other, whatever, it doesn't matter. But Embiid's got better numbers.
Can you check Julius Randle? Just to make it fair, because if Julius Randle has a better number, oh my god.
Hold on, let me tell you, I'm dying right now. This is rough. I'm gonna have to call somebody and see if I can get through to Julius. Maybe I can get him on the show now. We can talk.
I don't know. Hey Ron, whenever I'm like, just envision like Julius Randle, he took a shot. Like I'm seeing him moving. He's not stagnant. Normally, he's always trying to get a rebound, either offense or defense. It doesn't even matter. He's trying to find a guy, so there's assist. And you know that if he doesn't have a good matchup, he's going to be playing that bully ball Randle. So it's like you have 3-1 right there.
Nice. Think about it like this, bro. The difference, and I'll say this too, in between Randle and Towns, like I said this earlier, because I completely thought this trade would never happen. Towns abandoned his college game. If you look at Karl-Anthony Towns' college film, this dude actually has post moves. He actually has a very good post game. For whatever reason, he was in the 3-point contest, and he's now turned into, like somebody just said in the chat, he's just a sniper. He doesn't want to post up. He doesn't want to do none of that. If he would still operate in the mid-range post area, I would honestly not have that much of an issue with it. But there's going to be a difference between Randle and Karl-Anthony Towns because Karl-Anthony Towns wants to shoot it from 40 feet. Julius Randle was able to get his putbacks because he was in the range to get the rebounds. Karl-Anthony Towns is not getting a rebound from 40 feet on offense. You saw how you got Julius Randle with all those offensive rebounds. I don't necessarily see that happening for Karl-Anthony Towns. I do still think he will average close to a double-double, but they won't be the same types of rebounds that we saw Julius Randle getting.
Sam, and piggyback on what you just saying, and I'm just gonna keep on letting you rock. Julius Randle, his push up on the box, man. When you see him like trying to fight against another opponent, and it's like trying who's gonna win on space. Julius Randle is tough. I'm telling you, people is gonna start missing Julius Randle very early.
And I mean, this is just how I feel about it too. And I've said this before as well. Karl-Anthony Towns has the potential. He doesn't realize it for whatever reason. But if he consistently realizes that he has the potential, every time that he is on the court, it is a mismatch in his favor, no matter what position. If the guy's smaller than him, okay, back him down, take him to the paint. He has a dribble. Okay, if the guy's his height or taller, he has the speed advantage. He can take advantage there. He can stretch the floor. Karl-Anthony Towns does not realize his potential on the game-to-game basis, and that is why teams like the Timberwolves are doubting his play. When he is out there, he doesn't show consistency, which is why he was benched in the postseason. So if Cat can somehow turn it around, I'm not upset with the trade in the long run. It's just the fact that what he's shown as of recent does not back up the amount of money that we're about to pay this dude. We wouldn't pay Randle, shipped him off first thing smoking, and we acquired a guy who makes pretty much almost close to double what Randle's getting paid right now.
Every single
No, I was just going to tell you, because you were asking, in fairness, just from a basketball standpoint, both Embiid
Evenly
and
matched?
Karl-Anthony, no, they're not. Karl-Anthony, I mean, let me just say this. So Julius Randle versus Joel Embiid. Julius is averaging 20.6 points, 8.3 rebounds, 4.1 assists, and 1 steal. Versus Joel Embiid. Well, Joel Embiid is averaging 29.4 points, 11 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 0.5 steals versus Julius and the Knicks. And Joel Embiid has won 9 games compared to Julius Randle's 5 games. Now, the Karl-Anthony Towns side of it is a little closer, but still, Julius is averaging 20 points on the dot, 10 rebounds on the dot, 2.4 assists, 0.6 steals versus Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns is averaging 23.1 points, 13 rebounds, 3.3 assists, and 0.9 steals versus Julius. And games won, Karl-Anthony, his team has won 13 games, and Julius has won 8 games. So technically, both those options are better than Julius Randle, even though technically they're centers and he's a power forward. They're taller than him. But yeah, so basketball wise, it's not like Karl-Anthony Towns isn't a good player and can help this team. But my only issue that I have to say that bothers me a little bit about it is the fact that Karl-Anthony Towns was a little better player a couple years ago. His game has kind of taken a little bit of a change in recent times. He's still very efficient, but his numbers have taken a little bit of a dip. Let me get a couple more guys in here. This is a hotbed. Geez. I'm looking at, and I'm just looking at everybody's on right now talking about this. This is just incredible. The whole New York, and shout out to that other channel. You know who they are. They got over 7,000 people tuned in right now. So you could imagine how Knicks fans are feeling with this trade. Jeez Louise, what's going on, Divine?
Yes.
What's up, man? Keyshawn. Oh man,
I got brother Divine.
Oh no, not Divine's hype too. Oh,
y'all killing me. I gotta talk y'all off the ledge, man. What's going on, everybody, man? This is a top topic tonight, man. I'm listening to y'all guys. I'm like, I gotta get in here with my brothers today. I'm dropping some gems up in here today.
Hold on. Wait. This is for me. This ain't even for everybody else.
See if I know the ledge.
But, man, I just gotta help you out, my man. I gotta bring you down a little bit.
I need something, brother.
I know, man. I know this wasn't nobody's biggest trade here, but salute to everybody anyway, man. I'm just here, just having some fun to get on. Nice, what's good, my man?
What's good, my brother? How's everything?
Everything good, man. I feel a little different than you guys do, so.
I hear you. All right, so hold on 1 second. Let me see. Let me. I'm gonna come right back to you. Let me see what Keyshawn is saying, because you might be the difference maker for all of us. Let me see, Keyshawn, what's going on, brother?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Peace.
Sure.
Not so good.
Everyone be on doom and gloom, son. You got to look on.
Oh wow, we got 2 positives here.
No, listen.
No.
All right, see, everyone's one way or the other. Listen, I'm holding judgment. You feel me? I'm just trying to understand the situation before I bash the situation. You feel me?
Okay, all right,
You
that's
get me?
fair.
Like,
All right,
I hear how y'all talking about defense and this and that. But then I'm like, bro, he's not going to be the only defender on the team. We got Bridges who came in. We got OG. We still got these dogs on defense who's going to be around him. You feel me? It's not like we're going to be – I feel like people think the team's going to turn into like Cat's personality. When I think the other way around, I think the environment's going to turn Cat into something.
We ain't worried about that. We got dogs over here. We don't got no cat food. We good.
See, I'm saying maybe the dogs can turn Cat into a dog, bro. Like they was turning Randle into, they was making Randle turn into
Nah,
something else.
Randall was always a dog, my brother.
Nah, he was mentality wise. No, he wasn't.
I don't
Hey,
know, B. Listen, all right.
Ryan, keep
I'm just
going.
saying. I just want to wait and see. I want to hold.
All right,
judgment and
okay.
see.
Well, let me get okay. Let's hear a little bit more positive. Let's hear a little bit more how this could work from a man who look. And I will say, shout out to Divine and to Shah. They have talked about Karl-Anthony Towns multiple times in the past and brought up the positives about him. There was even a time when they had their own trade scenarios. This was months back when Karl-Anthony was in the mix that they thought this could work. So I'm going to get over to Divine and see what he has to say. But I also want to say what's up to Craig. Salute to you, my brother. TTID forever. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. My brother Jorge Castro in the building. What's going on Facebook? Yeah, they did Donte dirty. Yeah, no more.
Man,
no
I ain't
more.
never seen Shaw smile so much, man.
I'm not happy. I'm not saying that I'm
Oh
happy
my
because
gosh.
I like Cat, but I don't. I wish it. For me, like I said, if it was, I'd be happy if it was for Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle. I thought that was going to be the trade.
I'd be better. That would be
Right.
better
Yeah.
for me too, Sha.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd be
I'm
better.
a little upset
Yeah.
about Divincenzo, but I think this is a chance. And go ahead, Divine. Let you bring yourself up. You bring it up, Divine.
First of all, it really don't matter what other ones think because he on the Knicks. Let's just get that out the way. First of all, we can sit there and complain about this shit all we want to. Karl-Anthony Towns plays for the New York Knicks right now. Bottom line, I think the trade was phenomenal for this reason. For me, just my perspective. Julius Randle, I'm a Julius Randle stan. I've been the biggest Julius Randle fan since he's been in New York. But the writing was on the wall, ladies and gentlemen. This shit was on the wall the minute Karl-Anthony Towns was even available. Metuchen, New Jersey, CAA, Kentucky, his father down with World Wide West. This shit was up right. The writing was been on the wall. I mean, we should have seen this stuff coming because that's the way it lined up. Now, look at his numbers. Last year, 21 points a game, but let's go over his career. 22, 18, 25, 21, 24, 26, 24, 24, 20, 21. Field goal percentage, 52, 54, 54, 54, 51, 50, 48, 52, 49, 50. Let's go to a three-point percentage, 39, 34, 36, 42, 40, 41, 38, 41, 34, 41. Let's go to his rebounding numbers, 10, 10, 12, 12, 12, 10, 10, 9, 8, and 3. And them 2 years, he was hurt the last couple of years. Mother had died from COVID in a tough place in his lifetime. You got to take all this stuff into consideration. Second of all, his assist numbers is there, 2, 3, 2, 5. It's not that he's better than Julius Randle at a certain point in this game. They all think they do better than one another. Julius Randle cannot shoot the ball like Karl-Anthony Towns. I don't care what nobody say. His numbers don't lie. 40% for his career from downtown. Julius Randle can't do that. Julius Randle shoots 33% from downtown, 32 from downtown. I'm a Julius Randle guy, but y'all, all this soft stuff about Karl-Anthony Towns, he just dropped 62 on somebody last year. And he gave in the playoffs last year against Joker. Why you think they sent him home? Karl-Anthony Towns played Joker last year in the playoffs better than anybody. I've seen play Joker since he's been in the NBA. And he just facts I'm spitting here. I get the soft stuff and all that stuff, but the man numbers don't lie, ladies and gentlemen. His career numbers don't lie. 52% from the field, 40% from downtown on his career. I mean, the kid can get down 21, 20, 24, 24, 26. 24.
Talent there. Just got to change the mentality.
But listen, though. Here's another thing. When he stretched the floor from New York next year, I bet you hit more shots from outside than Julius Randle will. I bet you that. When he stretched the floor from New York this year, when Jalen Brunson goes downhill and you got Karl-Anthony Towns who shoots 40% from downtown out there, that makes Knicks a much better team.
Not to mention that the big man's going to be outside trying to protect the shot, so Brunson's going to have room to attack the paint.
Right, and that's only when they use him at the 5. I don't even think he's going to play the 5 in New York. I think Jericho starts the season with Karl-Anthony Towns at the 4, his natural position. I think this puts New York right up there with Boston and anybody else. I think the trade was good for this reason here. Julius Randle is coming off a shoulder injury. He's not going to be able to play all. Trust me when I'm telling you, he's not going to be the same Julius Randle. You can forget that. He's 6'8", 6'9". This dude is 7 foot and can put up the same numbers and will help that team more because he can stretch the floor more. And with our Achilles heel against Boston and all these other guys, we always talk about we need a big stretch five. We always say we need a stretch five in New York. Now we got a stretch five who can literally do the damn thing, and we complain about him. This dude is legit, man. Forget all that soft shit. This dude ain't soft. His numbers ain't soft. I don't care what you think about his body. His numbers ain't soft, though. Ain't nobody.
That stretch five in the league.
Right. He's a 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA. I mean, I don't get all this. I understand why y'all say it but listen, Karl-Anthony Towns was destined to come to the New York Knicks. It was written in the wall years ago. Like I said, if the connections were there, Tibbs coach drafted him in Minnesota. Rojas was there when he got drafted in Minnesota. All them dudes, and now this is who they wanted. They wanted this dude, and I guarantee you, we're gonna be saying a different tune when the season starts. I guarantee you that. This dude
and he's coming in healthy.
Right.
He's coming in healthy. And he's coming in healthy.
Julius Randle they wasn't gonna get Julius Randle all that money. They wasn't gonna do it. Julius Randle did not get drafted by Leon Rose. I mean, he didn't get signed by Leon Rose. He got signed by Scott Perry and them. And Mitchell Robinson, he out the door next. The old regime, all them players is gone, bro. I knew they were gonna trade Julius Randle this year. Leon Rose did not draft Julius Randle. He did not draft Mitchell Robinson. And y'all know how it goes. It's baseball, any sport. When a new regime come in, they want to make sure they get all the credit for what they do. They want to get the credit for what they do. I think that's all this is.
True.
You know what? I can't see it. I like Karl-Anthony Towns. I think the man going to shock a lot of people. And look at his numbers. His numbers don't lie. His games played don't lie. Other than his mother dying in the COVID season and the year before when he played 29 games, he's been efficient.
What about playoff? Very efficient, right?
I mean, you know what? We could say the same thing about the playoff. I mean,
yeah, but it's only 2 times. This is the only 2 times that he only been in the playoff. He never been in the playoff. Never.
That on him though. It's an organizational thing. You can't
yeah, but I understand. But how many times has Karl-Anthony Towns has already gone to the playoff? And many times, pretty much, he's like lean to those type of players that, hey, he could be great on games, but when it comes to crunch time to playoff, I don't know.
That was that number one option.
I don't want to pick up the show. Just let me say this here. That applies to any player in the NBA. You're only good at the coach you have and the team that's around you. Think about the players he played with before Anthony Edwards got there. Think about the coaches that he had. Think about the organization. How would they maneuvering, putting the right pieces around him to be successful? Because no matter, look at Julius Randle. Julius Randle didn't have help until what we got Jalen Brunson. We got guys that made him, like we had RJ and Albert Payton and them. He couldn't do nothing because he didn't have the right players around him. Sometimes you got to get the right players around these guys to make them better. And Jalen Brunson brought the best out of Julius Randle when he came here. Look what happened. And I think, to be fair, I'm not saying this guy is a godsend. I'm not saying he's great. What I'm saying is I think we undervaluing his numbers. I understand the playoff thing because there's a lot of people who ain't do nothing in the playoffs.
The thing is that people is undervaluing how much he's getting paid. That's the thing. If he's getting paid that type of money, I'm already expecting production in playoff. That's it. That's the type of money that you already know is a guaranteed. That on playoff time, this mother flower will shine.
It kicks in, Devon. It kicks in.
I understand, but what I'm saying, I guess what I'm trying to say is, what did he do in the playoffs last year?
Oh, hold on. Let me tell you.
Go ahead, Ron. Please.
You set him up. I'm not. Yes, no, like I was just about to say this. The perfect segue. Mm-hmm. So, with Minnesota versus, so what do we got? We got 3 playoff rounds, right? We got
Phoenix, it was Dallas, right?
Phoenix, Denver, and then we got Dallas, right? Mm-hmm. So against Phoenix, he had 19-7, then 12-8. Right, then 18-13, then 28-10. Not bad. That's a decent playoff round. All right. Hold on, that's fair. Then against Denver, which was a 7-game series, was it? Yeah. 20-4, 27-12, 14-5, 13-12, 23-6, 10-13, 23 and 12. Now, those aren't horrible numbers, but it bothers me a little bit for a guy who's supposed to be as talented as Cat. But this is where I get really bothered, right? Against Dallas in 5 games, 16 and 7,
Okay.
15 and 7,
Okay.
14 and 11. Now, hold on. This is interesting. 25 and 5, 28 and 12 in the last 2 games, right? But what bothers me here is he shot 6 of 20 in that first game, 4 of 16 in the second, 5 of 18. He was 2 of 9 from 3, 1 of 5 in the second game, 0 for 8 in the third game. Like at some point, see, and he was 1 of 6 in that last game where he had 28 and 12. My concern about him too is he likes to pull. Like he gets 3 happy. He's a different type of player. He lets it fly. Now he's very efficient, like we talked about in the regular season. The playoffs is a different animal. That's when the defense starts to lock in on what you like to do. So what I want to see from him is that he can make adjustments. He can change. And I get it. He's on the Knicks. We got Jalen Brunson, but I just don't think that this team is that much different overall than what Minnesota had. So I'm just trying to figure out how is he going to be different. But go ahead.
Here's the difference to me. If you key on, they only had 2 players who literally could put the ball in the bucket. I mean, so I'm talking about get buckets, but Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns. You take one of them out the game, you're gonna go at the one of them play. You got to take one of them out the game, and that happens because it happens on anybody. If you playing 2 good players, one of them you got to try to take out the game. I'm not saying that his playoff numbers is great, but at the same time, how was the defense scheme? How was the defense scheme ran at him? How many people did they triple team him and let Anthony Edwards do the work? Because my man Jalen McDaniels is not a good shooter. They starting 5. Only 2 people on that starting 5 for Minnesota can get buckets. Yeah. Was Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns. So if your defense scheme is to say, I'm going to take one of these dudes out the game and it'll give us a chance to win, that's what they do. They did to Julius Randle when he was at the Knicks. Nate McMillan said, you know what? They got Alpha Payton. I'm going to take Julius Randle out the game because can't nobody else really. And it happens. It all depends on what the other scheme was around. They could have said, you know what? Let Anthony Edwards get his, but we got to stop Karl-Anthony Towns. So we're going to take our defense and apply straight to Karl-Anthony Towns. Throw 3 at him, throw 2 at him, make him take the ball out of his hand, make his percentages go down. Not saying that was all defense, but he had a bad player. But I still think that you got to take all the variables to put him in there. You just can't say the Cat is bad in the playoffs. Because we say that about Julius Randle. Julius Randle not bad in the playoffs. He just that he was in a situation where he didn't have a right team around in the first year with Alpha Payton and Reggie Bullock. And the second year, he got hurt with his ankle. The third year, he got hurt. But sometimes it's not just the player is not good. It all depends what the defense is doing to that team. So I'm not trying to make excuses for Karl-Anthony Towns, but one man don't win a championship. One man, it's a whole team. It's 15 players and the coaches. If your schemes ain't there, if your other guys is choking, because it could be that because they put the pressure on him, because the other guy wasn't doing shit. So I'm just trying to say that I'm not trying to ride his coattail, but I think it's unfair to judge him by a couple of games. Let's see what he do when he gets to New York. He might come here with a better coach like Karl-Anthony. Tiz might be better than Finch coaching. Tiz might be able to do
I'm saying.
Coach was to do. Who knows? But I think with Jalen Brunson around him, with Anunoby, this got to be the best
Bridges, Hart.
Yeah, he got a good team, but let's see. I think his numbers. I'm going to give y'all the benefit of the doubt with the playoff thing. I got to ride with that, but I want to see what he do with this squad and this coach.
Right. I hear you.
No, he's
that's
gonna
fair.
He's gonna want to show out. Like it's a whole new scene. You feel me? He's not gonna come
New
in.
York, baby. It's New York.
You know who also want to shine?
He has
You want to know? But you want to know who also want to shine? Julius Randle. He always be shining with two players, and one of them is Cat. Karl-Anthony Towns.
I mean, listen.
You guys just set a fire to Julius Randle. He's going to forget about Anthony Davis. And now he's going to take that bully Bull Randle to the next level that you never seen on us.
They're going to be nice over there. That was a good
trade. No, they're going to be good.
They're
going to be good.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, real quick, to what Divine was saying. I understand that, like, and you're right. Like, they didn't have a lot of bucket getters outside of Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns. You don't got a lot of bucket getters over there. But what bothers me too is, listen, we don't got a lot of bucket getters over here right now either, because we gave up 2. Like, we gave up Julius Randle and we gave up Donte. Like, that concerns me a little bit. So I don't know what to expect from this,
just
bro.
a
But
few logistics,
I hear you.
guys. Just a few logistics, because I know Uncle
better third option though.
What'd you say, Devon?
I think Mikal is better than anybody in Minnesota at the third option. Mikal was 19, 20 points a game.
No, yeah, you wouldn't be wrong in saying that.
And Donte, you know, he was literally on the bench last year until somebody got injured. But I think that they were gonna sign Divincenzo last year before the Knicks signed him. They wanted him. Literally, but you got to give the get though. You know what I mean? Divincenzo anybody could be replaced. I think Deuce McBride is a better defender than Divincenzo. He shoot the 3 ball just as good as he do. He might not shoot the volume that he shoot, but percentage wise, his numbers are just as good as Debo from a percentage standpoint. And he's a ball hawk, and he could. So I get it, but $4 million to do what Divincenzo made $12 million. My man made 4. You probably can get the same production from a defense and a 3-point shooting standpoint. I don't know about the overall game, but I don't think the Knicks got weak at all. I think the Knicks got better to me, and we'll wait till the season start. I got this team with this boy right here, Karl-Anthony Towns.
Hey, Devon, can you do morning motivation for me? Because I need that. Because I don't know how I get through my day without that type of motivation.
It's like Divine. I'm almost with you. I'm there, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, but is Deuce better passer than Debo? And then all of a sudden it's like,
yeah, I'm not saying he's a better player than Debo. What I'm saying is, I think what the Knicks need him for, he can give you the 3-point shot like Debo can, and he can play better defense. I think they got guys like Cameron Payne and Tyler Kohler to do the offense. Obviously, Deuce is probably going to be a 2 for New York. He's going to be a 2.
That's what I'm saying. He's
going to be a backup 2. That's his position. He's a point guard.
Going to the 2. And Josh is going to be the 3 on the second unit.
Yeah.
The only thing, Divine, with that is that for a trade like this that happened today, we could have just pushed it a little bit more to the right, just to see this team healthy, playing, because we never seen this team play. Like, it was always Brunson, it was either Julius Randle, it was either OG, and all of a sudden we get this time that we see everybody healthy for 11 or 13 game, 11-2. Come on, and now we about to see this. Like, I was so excited, Divine, so excited. I couldn't even wait. What is it, 28, 27 days? Now it's like, I don't even care, man.
Remember
questions.
Remember this too, Nice. Julius Randle is not scheduled to start yet. He wasn't going to make the preseason games. He's just going into training camp, but I don't think he's going to make any of the. He wouldn't have made any of the preseason games, and he was hopeful to make
for the first game
of the season. Yeah. Right, he was hopeful to make the start of the season.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold y'all up, but I figured this way: the New York Knicks, this is what they wanted. You know, I know we can sit up here and do all this. Leon Rose, Worldwide West, and them do this what they wanted. This what they wanted. They said, "I'm going out to get this man. We want him. We think he's gonna be able to have a better impact on us than Julius Randle." That's their thinking, not ours. That's their thinking. They thinking that this is not going to be better for us, and they went and did it. I mean, you know, so we just got to roll with it. I mean, you know, whether we like it or not, they ain't got no choice. The Knicks felt like Karl-Anthony Towns, and that, which I agree with the Knicks, will make the Knicks better than Julius Randle, because Julius Randle is a ball-dominant player who pounds the ball in the paint. They can't have that with Jalen Brunson. Karl-Anthony Towns don't do that. He can sit out that three-point line. Jalen Brunson can throw it to him. He just can knock him down. And
that's
floor space.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
It's not that he's better than Julius Randle. He makes the team better because of the way he played. And
he's a different type of player. Yes, he's a different style of player. That's a good point. That's a good Divine. Listen, that's a good point. And this may be where the Knicks want to go. Let me just say this. I think that it's going to be a wait and see.
I agree.
What makes it tough for us is obviously there is a lot of us that still cared about Julius Randle being here as a Knick. We wanted to win with Julius Randle here.
Yeah.
And now we got to watch him leave and go somewhere else. And who knows what can happen. Let me tell you something. If Julius Randle goes to Minnesota and stays there and they win, that's going to be crazy.
Win
But
what?
you know what I'm saying. But either way,
Divisional title.
They strong in they strong in the West now.
They're a tough team over there.
Julius,
They definitely.
They team is going to be different.
They needed the Julius Randle thing is basically a replacement for Cat, but he's not Cat. So will he make them better? We don't know. But what they did get was Donte, and Donte is going to make them better. He gives them something they didn't have.
Yes.
Hey, real quick, question: do you think the situation, the way that, to me, I think what Julius Randle is about to do is the same thing that he had with Mitchell Robinson. He about to go there with Gobert, who's going to be in that middle. And if Julius Randle ain't popping, I'm just saying he got to get a 3-point percentage up to play out there because he's not going to be playing down in the paint with Rudy Gobert. The same thing with Mitchell Robinson, clogs up the middle. So if Julius Randle don't hit them 3-point shots, it might be a different scenario, with him and Ant and them. So I hope Julius Randle 3-point shot be knocking down for them guys because he ain't gonna be able to do all that if my man down that paint like same way Mitchell Robinson was. That's why the Knicks gonna trade him too. Them cats clog up the middle and they can't get no ball penetration down there because Mitchell Robinson can't never pull this man out. So I think that could be the same situation with them. I hope not.
Right.
No,
right. I think you're right. Let me say what's up to my guy, the objective Knicks fan in the building. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
I'm outside. Listen, man, I'm hanging with friends and family, man. I get a million phone calls. And bro, right now I'm in the car. I just got off the phone talking to somebody, and I honestly don't even. I'm so stunned, right? Because I just did a show talking about the aprons. Like you guys may understand. Like this trade is very hard to do. It's not an easy trade because Minnesota's second apron team. They have to send out the same amount of players they receive. So and they got to match the salary as well within 110%. So gone are the exception days where you could just do all, you could give out $50 million, take back 30 and create that 20 million. They can't do that. So it's going to be some other pieces. Don't be surprised if Mitchell Robinson is in this deal and there's other moving parts that has to be included just to make the numbers work. Because right now, Randle and Donte for Towns is not it. That's not getting it done. So I hear Charlotte's supposed to be involved. Don't be surprised. You're going to see more heads roll. But it's funny, right? Because, some people predicted that Towns was coming and it was a big thing this summer. And one of the things I said, because I did a show on it, I said that if you're trading for Towns, you're going to have to trade the Nova Boy. And I really believe the Nova Boys was untouchable. I like the Nova Boys was like such a big thing, especially since Brunson sacrificed what he sacrificed. I just hope that everybody's on board with this. And now there's no dissension going into the season because that was their board. Remember, they jumped on the call together, And so now, and then remember, Randle also, the whole situation with the store thing and the truth will come to light. What was this known the whole time? It's just a lot of questions, guys, man. I'm all over the place. I'm sorry, man. I just, I'm out and about, man. I just had to tap in, man. Salute to you, Ron. I saw you was honestly, I found out the news from you first. Cause I'm like, wait a minute. Wow. Ron is doing a show talk because I'm out. I'm hanging out and I'm chilling, Right. And so, I wasn't prepared to get on no lives and talk Knicks tonight. So I was just completely stunned, man. But I just had to give my 2 cents. Like this deal is they only let out certain details. It's going to be a lot more moving pieces. They can't just do the 3. Minnesota has to give up whatever they get back. So we got to see.
Yeah.
No. How do you like?
I just want.
Objective. They were asking, how do you like the trade outside of how it's getting done? How do you feel about?
Karl-Anthony? It's too premature to say how you feel because we don't know what the moving pieces are yet. We only know the key pieces. Donte and Julius, but you never know. You might get a Nick Richards back. You might, you might get another piece, sort of like. So I was listening in and off, in and out of the stream, and somebody said how you got Precious with the OG trade because guys were feeling some type of way about trading RJ and quickly, right? I honestly didn't feel that way. I kind of was like, I was surprised they gave up both of them, but I was like, OG is the guy that we needed. This trade right here, I'm like, I don't think Towns is the guy that we needed, but in Leon Rose we trust, guys. In Leon Rose we trust. He hasn't let us down. Yes, he did one or two bad moves in the past, but we have to stay optimistic and there's going to be more coming down the pipe. This is not over. It's not done. It's going to be more pieces. Don't be surprised you see Mitchell Robinson also in the deal.
And now we're go, Brunson.
Randle, they just didn't have like many options as far as like upgrading. You feel me?
Right.
Like, and now we're go. Brunson actually put, do not be surprised if Mitchell Robinson is traded before opening night.
No, Brunson didn't put that.
Nah,
yeah,
Brunson
no, that's not. That's not. That ain't Jalen though. That's some fake account.
Nick Moose. Nick Moose.
That ain't Brunson.
That ain't Brunson.
I don't know if Nick Muse posted it. Nick Muse has been kind of accurate.
He ain't wrong because we all think the same thing, but it wasn't Brunson.
I mean, but no, it wouldn't be Brunson who said it. And if Brunson did say that, I wouldn't feel good about it because if Brunson says something like that, I would think Brunson's upset.
Right.
I would like, why would
but
Brunson
he took a pay cut?
But the roommates did post though. Did you guys see the roommates tweet? Because I went straight to Twitter once I saw you was live, and the roommates put, "How do you feel about this?" And all the Knicks fans was putting how they feel. Now I asked them, "How do you feel about this?" I'm curious to see how you guys feel.
That's a really good question. Let me say this. Yeah. let's just understand a couple things that we should already know. If the Knicks made this trade, Jalen Brunson knew. Right? They had I'm 100% that they went to Jalen Brunson and told them what they were going to do. And I'm not saying that he had to be on board with it, but I think they wanted his blessing that, look, this is how it's going to be. How do you feel about it? They probably told Josh Hart too. And really, when you think about it, and this is no slight, we know they're the Villanova boys, all that stuff, but really it's Josh Hart and Brunson, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily, I'm not knocking Dante's relationship with them, but Josh Hart and Brunson are really close. So I think that, they went to him, they told him, and he's the captain. And listen, that's what it is. And it's the business. And they obviously must have talked to Donte and let him know. And then, they had to just deal with the repercussions of how it all plays out. They try to win a championship, and this is where we're going. But I do think in a way it's a little bit uncomfortable because Brunson did take less money. Now, there was something, hold on one second. I was going to say, I was trying to read something because it came over my timeline on my phone, and I tried to click on it and see exactly what it said. But then when I clicked on it, it brought me to a whole bigger Karl-Anthony Towns thing. I don't know if it was clickbait or whatever. But the reason why I clicked on it, it said that Julius Randle wanted the extension and that the Knicks didn't do it. Now, if you're trying to tell me that Julius Randle was willing to take that $181 million, which is crazy to me, but if he was,
doubt it.
I don't know how I feel about that because I'm like, why would he want to do that when he can play another year and bet on himself and get bigger bread? Unless he wasn't all the way feeling comfortable about that shoulder either. Look, I'm speculating, man. I don't know. This is all crazy.
But Ron, it could also go. But it could also go, well, I'm seeing Brunson getting his friend over here, this and that. Let me get my money at least.
Exactly. Nice.
And what I'm trying to say is that it's all right. So if they got the approval from Brunson, Ron, are you talking about the same approval that they went to go get from Julius Randle when they got Brunson? Now they looking like they not loyal.
I think they're looking loyal. The issue is I don't think
how if Sam, he took a pay cut first. At least we could have done the same thing as RJ. Pay his money at least and then trade him.
I think they're looking loyal in the sense like what Nice is saying. They just wanted to get the deal done to get the upgrade that they felt, which was Cat. like I'm saying, guys, I don't think Cat's terrible. I just feel as though the Knicks, like to Shaw's point, need to go grab a center. If Sims don't have a Deuce McBride leap, like I've been saying all summer, go grab a center, because I do not want to see guys being forced to play out of position because Mitchell Robinson cannot suit up until December, Christmas Day.
Yeah.
We need to get a center. So, like Objective Nick was saying, hopefully, somebody else is added in there. Hopefully, we get another guy. So I'm not completely bashing the trade. But I mean, as it currently stands, the Knicks actually are under the second apron. That's why I was going to try to, just add my 2 cents. We're under it. I think we've got like 960 something K under the second apron. So we're barely under it.
Okay.
But
but at least we got some flexibility.
I mean, but like Objective Nick saying, once you add some people in there, we probably are going to be over it. Because the T-Wolves are very well over it. So, I mean,
Charlotte, though. Jeffries and Charlie Brown, they did a sign and trade with Daquan Jeffries and Charlie Brown, sent them to Charlotte to get to Karl-Anthony Towns numbers. So I don't know what's going to be involved after that, but I think they'd be okay. And we got to remember, next year, Pressure Chua, Mitchell Robinson, all these cats be off the books next year. Now you still got another $20 million next year because Mitchell Robinson got a Aspire next year. My man got a 1-year deal. Pressure Chua $6 million. For the Knicks next year, even after all this, they still have hopefully around 20 million.
Bates.
Yeah,
Campaign.
Rose is playing chess out there for the him and
Brock. To be honest with y'all talking about Mitch. I don't want to say it because I'm a Memphis guy, but Precious might be getting shipped.
No, Precious can't get shipped till December.
No, yeah, I'm saying he might be going with Mitch. Yeah.
True.
You look at those numbers. That's 21 million right there.
21 million.
But I'm not so worried about that. I'm not so worried about if Precious gets shipped too, because listen, that's what Sims is supposed to be here for. And now you picked up Mook Morris. Now I know Mook is an elder statesman and all that stuff, but he can still play basketball. And with him and Sims and those are basically backup guys, right? Because if you're shipping him, you're bringing in somebody who's another quality big that you could use. So I think we'd be fine on that end. If they trade Precious in the effort of bringing another quality big in here, I'm okay with that. I'm still on the fence about this first part. And to everyone's point that has said it, I'm not opposed to Karl-Anthony Towns as a basketball player. I know he's got the game. I'm just more concerned about him making the adjustments that need to be made and about him being willing to play that center position. Because irregardless of whether we make a trade for a center or not, at some point we're going to need this man to suit up and play the center. So we need him to be all in for this team. So I just hope his mindset is there. Now, another thing I was thinking, man, doesn't this really go back to the Knicks? Like, doesn't this play into Leon Rose and our strategies, right? We go out, we get, now this is prior to Leon Rose actually. So, but whatever, we go out and we get Johnny Bryant for Donovan Mitchell. It doesn't really work, doesn't really come to fruition. We go get Daddy Brunson, we go get Jalen Brunson. We go get, and it's the quietest kept thing, Gerson Rosas. And then we wind up getting Karl-Anthony Towns. It all plays into how they do things.
Yeah. That's why I said the writing was on the wall, Ron. When, like I said, Tim drafted Karl-Anthony Towns. Rojas and them you can just see the writing on the wall. They want to keep this thing family affair. And if you notice about the Knicks basketball team, they keep the East Coast guys on that team. Brunson, East Coast. Hart, East Coast. Bridges, Philadelphia. Karl-Anthony Towns, New Jersey. Jalen Brunson, New Jersey. At least they upbringers. Coach Tom Thibodeau, Connecticut. They are bringing East Coast type of basketball players on the New York Knicks, all up and down that tri-area corridor. They put them together and they rolling with them. That's what their whole game plan was. Like I said, Mitchell Robinson will be traded. He did not get, and even an extension with Julius Randle real quick. Julius Randle got that pay cut with the old regime.
Exactly.
They not obligated to give Julius Randle an extension. They're not obligated to make him take a pay cut or not. And Julius Randle shouldn't. He's like, listen, I want my money. Right. So I get it. I really get what's going on. But I seen this shit 2 years ago. Like Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson to be out of here this year. They did not draft. They did not sign them boys when they first got here. That's the old regime. And sure enough, it came to reality. There's no Nick on that team other than Mitchell Robinson that got drafted by got drafted or got signed by Scott Perry and them and Steve Mills and them guys until my man took over. He got rid of all of them. And that's just the way the business works. That's the way the business works. Shit, anybody get traded. I mean, I don't care who you are. You could get traded. And I seen this happen 2 years ago. They're not going to keep him. They're not going to sign Julius Randle. I could have told you that 2 years ago because that's not the way the business works. We don't, I didn't sign you. Okay, you took a picture. That's cool. That's why they got rid of quickly now. Hey, whatever.
Hey, Divine, you know what they need to do? Call up Coach Cal at Arkansas and figure out how the heck he got Cat in the post. Because I'm telling you, if Cat can just somehow get back to that on the occasion, make dudes honest and respected, that would be a whole nother level.
Yeah.
If he's able to get back to showing, because he has the game for it, he just doesn't unlock it. If he goes back, his post game was amazing at Kentucky. People watch any of his college film, you'll see more of that than him shooting. He was not even a shooter like that at Kentucky. All of this developed in the NBA for him, which I'm glad it has. But like I'm saying, I just need a little bit more consistency from him and his interestness on the court. If he's able to show that, I don't see it being an issue with Cat here. But like I said, some guys, like we know at this point, are going to have to step up that we haven't seen before. So Jericho, you're being summoned. You're being called on. If not, they will upgrade over you. Deuce McBride, you're being called on. If not, you see, the Knicks will upgrade over you. They have no problem in doing so. So we've got a couple of guys on the roster who have shots now, but they're going to have to prove to Tom Thibodeau and the rest of this coaching staff that they're worthy of the minutes. Because Cat's going to get his regardless. They didn't just trade Julius Randle and Donte for Cat to get 20 minutes a game.
Can I say one last thing, guys? I'm getting ready to roll out. Salute to everybody on the panel, by the way. I'm glad to talk to you guys. Some of you guys I talked to for the first time. I just want to say, to all the Still Knick fans listeners, if you're listening to this broadcast and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I want to give a big salute to Ron for going live tonight, giving us a platform to talk about, because I'm out and about. So someone had to do it. So salute to Ron. Definitely hit that subscribe button. They're on the road to 3K. And my one last thing I'm gonna say, guys, let's wait for all the details to come out and see exactly where the dust settles, and then we could go in from there. Because ain't media day on Monday, so I guess they had to do all of this before Julius Randle takes his pictures.
Before media day.
It would have been worse, bro.
It would have been worse, So we gotta see we gotta see all the details, y'all. But thanks for letting me on. My family's getting on me. They're like, oh, they ready to go. I gotta go do this long drive upstate. So, but I'm gonna definitely, man, tap in tomorrow. You still going live tomorrow, Ron?
Yeah, thank you for saying that, because I was just about to say, just to let everybody know, I know as late as 1 o'clock. Yes, I will be going live at 11:30 a.m. We're gonna do this again because there's more to talk about, and we'll know a little bit more about what's going on by then as well.
Right. So make sure y'all there, y'all. Thank you for letting me rock, y'all. Have a great night. Let's go Knicks, y'all. Let's go Knicks no matter what.
By the way, I don't know if you there, brother, but I did see you were like 2 away from 1K. So if y'all have not subscribed,
we crushed it today. We won. We 1,002, man. We blew past 1,000. I didn't even see 1,000. It was just 1,002. I was like, oh snap. I woke up. I was like, oh man, we did it. So, because I did a show last night. So no, the other was it last night or I don't even know what day it was, but I did a show, and that helped bring us over. So yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Congratulations, brother. Congratulations.
Yes,
right,
I'm in the 1,000 club.
Have a great rest of your evening, bro, or night.
All right, take care.
Right, and just to clarify, guys, one last thing, and I'm gonna let y'all rock because I'm gonna kind of sit in the shadows. I did say that Cat lived in the post, but we all know that when you're playing a sport, you're a product of how the coach and how the team want to use you. So, like you said, Coach Shire, he has always been all around. I was just emphasizing the fact that he has that type of ability. I would just like to see him showcase it more. I know Cat is pretty much a 3-level scorer, but I just want to see him, expose more of that mid-range post-up ability with the Knicks, and it remains to be seen if it will happen or not. Like we said, we don't know how Tibbs is going to use him. But I am intrigued, like Divine is saying. I'm getting kind of like a little bit of a KP flashback in a sense of being able to see a guy who's actually 7 foot shoot the ball at a good clip. I guess that'll be a good thing for us, and it's something to look forward to. But to objective Nick's point, I just want to see the remainder of the details. With Leon Rose, we always wait. We never want to really jump the gun because we know there's going to be little fine details within the trade, whether it's conditional picks or things of that nature that he could add in there. So I'm just waiting to see the remainder of the deal in totality is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too, Sam. But what I was looking at, I do think the deal is done, and I don't think the Knicks are sending any more players. I think they have sent some sort of draft compensation. The Knicks had a bunch of second round picks, and I do think that Charlotte is sending cash in the deal to kind of help make up for the money that's missing. To get this done. And don't forget also the first round pick that the Knicks are sending to Minnesota has some cash value on it as well because of the estimation that you have to pay that type of player. It just, adding up to that overall number. So we're going to talk about it a little bit more, obviously tomorrow, more in depth. But I will say that now that I'm kind of over my shock and anger, I will say that I do see a road to where this actually helps the Knicks. It clarifies some things and clears some things up, and the waters aren't so muddy, right? We talked about it earlier. This does make things a little easier. Like, okay, Deuce can play minutes. Like, Kolek can get involved in the mix now. Now there's a road for him to be a part of this team. Now, when you look at your bench after making the trade, how do you make up for certain things? Well, you look at your bench. I mean, you might have Landry Shamet there. You got Campaign there. You got some of these rookie cats that you don't know what they are yet. They're probably not going to get burned, but the Knicks are in a position where you got guys that have talent on the bench that eventually can pay dividends if need be. The only thing that's still a question mark is the backup center position, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen. And I do believe that Mitchell Robinson is going to get moved because, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't now. I mean, this dude is just injury prone. Like, you can't depend on him, and it's not going to get better. So you might as well figure out a way to get something for him if you can. But yeah, I do definitely think that the Knicks can still be a beast team. Like my brother Stephen Hewitt said, the Bulls fan, he was like, listen, I think the Knicks are going to be a tough team to beat. That the top 7 is a rough team, because even if you appreciate Julius Randle and what he's done for the team and what he can bring, Karl-Anthony Towns' ability, going back to what Divine said and what Shad said, to space the floor, it gives the Knicks such a dynamic. We've seen how other teams that aren't as good as us, let's keep it real, Indiana's not as good as the Knicks, but with Miles Turner spacing the floor, he gave us problems. Yeah, so now we can dish that same thing out, and now it kind of makes us kind of like invincible. You know what I mean? Like, we can do exactly what you're doing to us, our one weakness, and we still got Jalen Brunson. We still got the ability to knock down threes on the perimeter with OG, with Macau, with Deuce. And then, we also don't know, like I said, now that this might open up the gates for Tyler Kolek to get some burn, we don't know how dynamic Tyler Kolek can make the team when he's in there. Like, he can bring an element that we've been struggling to get the playmaking. If he actually gets burned, he can open things up, and we might be a big problem. So that's the positive of it, and I'm gonna talk more about that tomorrow. But I see it. I just needed a minute to kind of get this all out.
Hey, you know me, my passion always thinking, guys. When I'm passionate like this here, it's just passion. It's just passion. That's how much I love the Knicks. And I'm a passionate guy when it comes to, man. I've been a Knicks fan for 50-something years, bro. I went to the 73 championship game in Madison Square Garden, literally.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I've been a Knicks fan for so long. It's like the way I put on my sneakers, the way I see the Knicks. It's just a way of life for me. You know what I mean? And but I'm a positive dude, but I'm also understand that it's pros and cons to everything. Now, I'm not saying Karl-Anthony Towns going to come here and he's the best thing ever happened. No, because there's going to be some peaks and valleys, some ups and downs. And he might not shoot well in 10 games. Who knows? But I do believe, to me, he makes the Knicks better for this team. I'm talking about just the team that they assembled. Not so much he's better than anybody. I think he makes the Knicks better for this team. Because I tell you why, when we play Boston, when Porzingis go out there, so can Karl-Anthony Towns go out there.
That's right.
So and that was the problem with the Knicks. When Porzingis went out there, or Mitchell Robinson couldn't go out there. You know what I mean? Or whoever Hartenstein, they couldn't go out there and defend them dudes out there. At least Karl-Anthony Towns could pull them dudes out the way they pulled us out. I think Jalen Brunson was going to have free range down that middle whenever he played a 5. Because I don't know if, to me, before I go, I think the Rudy Gobert thing is the reason why Cat didn't have to go down there and play the 5 like that over the last so many years. He might have been more efficient if they didn't sign Rudy Gobert. You know what I mean? He could have played 4-5 in Minnesota that he normally would have had if they didn't sign Rudy Gobert. And I think that's why you didn't get to see a lot of him banging down there, but it could have prolonged his career too because he didn't have to bang down there. I mean, you get a 28-year-old guy who's still in his prime, but he not beat up as bad because he wasn't down there banging with him, beating him all the time, and Jokic. And so it could be a lot of pros. The con is like, hope he's not soft like everybody talking about, but I think he's gonna be okay for Knicks. I think Knicks gonna be a dynamic team. I just think this cat gonna change the game. He shoot better than Julius Randle, but no knock on Julius Randle. But it's scary when you got a guy who can shoot 40% at will. I mean, just at will. I mean, he ain't missing. I mean, and I think it's going to be a pretty good dynamic. Let's see how it goes. It's all good on paper until the shit get on the floor. You know what I mean, Ron? We get there and the shit might work out, but I'm optimistically thinking that this is going to be big for the Knicks, man, because I think Embiid can shoot from out there. All our centers can't shoot from out there, but Embiid can do it. Porzingis will do it. Now you got one on our squad who can do it too. You know what I mean? Better than them. That's what's scary to me right there. That part of it.
But the other thing about that too is like all right, it's great if he happens to play center or if their defense lines up where they bring the center. But if he's playing power forward and say Embiid, I don't got a guard Cat. Like somebody else can guard him, let him stay out there. I'll stay in the lane and give us that same defensive rim protection. This is where you might need Cat to get in that center spot so he can pull Embiid out of there. Something like that is going to be important. And I wanted to say this real quick. First off, let me shout out because we've been talking. Thank you, Parrish Duggan, for the generous super chat. He said, Cat style of play is perfect with JB, but I'm sick. I get you. He also said, thank you for the other generous super chat. He said, this is actually Donte for Cat on our playoff team. When you look at that, okay, all right, I know what you're trying to say. I get it. I gotta also say 2 more things, but I gotta give this man. I mean, I don't know where you was. Somebody must have been, your ears might be ringing. But shout out to David Smith. You got your wish, brother. Yeah, we did it. You finally got your Karl-Anthony Towns. I don't know how it happened, but you got it. So we'll see what it is, bro. You've been calling it forever. I hope you're happy. I hope you like, what this is going to turn out to be. We'll see. Shout out to Apollo Williams in the building. He said, Cat Hart is soft, Ron, and he is injury prone. Yes, I know, bro. I'm just hoping he can stick together like the 10. I don't want him to be the 10 man. I want him to stick together, crazy, glue him up, whatever they got to do, because we need him out there. But so this is what I'm worried about too. Craig had said this, and I read this too because I was reading the different posts and the tweet that Karl-Anthony had put out there. Karl-Anthony did not ask for this trade, right? And he looks like he's stunned that this went down. That is a little bit worrisome, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. Because you might say, well, if he's stunned, I mean, he may not have been ready to leave Minnesota. They had a good thing going. It's basically was his team, and now he's getting traded from his team. It's becoming Anthony Edwards' team now, right? Which, okay, it is what it is. But you got to think, for him, it's just what he's used to. And then the other thing is, he has a girlfriend out there. He's got to figure out all of that stuff. Now he's moving, got to uproot his life. But let's not forget, I already talked about Karl-Anthony Towns with the other ego, the other person he talks to get him going for games and stuff. But all jokes aside, seriously, Karl-Anthony Towns has dealt with some mental stuff as well. He's had a lot to deal with as a player in the league, expectations, sometimes not living up to the expectations and wondering what they need to build around him. And then, we dealt with the health issues in 2020 that we all were prone to. The word, I don't want to say it because I got enough going on. And then he lost multiple family members because of it. So he's had a lot to deal with and process. And now this trade that he didn't ask for, that he was blindsided by, is a shock to his mental once again. So you got to hope that when Karl-Anthony Towns comes to this team, he's in the right mind state to accept the change. Because if he's not where he needs to be, this is going to be bad, y'all. I'm just telling y'all. It could work out, but it's going to take some time. But he just needs to understand. And remember, this is also his first trade. He's never been traded before. So as a young player, you know, it's all of that stuff you got to get used to. And we just hope that we get the best Karl-Anthony Towns possible. That's all I'm asking for.
He just bought a $15 million mansion just recently the other day. Yes, a couple of days ago, he just bought. But you know, I think his father over here in New Jersey, man. I mean, Knicks got a good organization, man. They got a lot of good, high quality people around him. This is the old Knicks regime. I think he got some good people around him. And Tibbs going, like I said, I believe if Tibbs must have wanted this dude, because they wouldn't have brought him here if they feel like the coach didn't want him. I just think that they must see something that make their team more dynamic. I do agree with you on the mental aspect of his heart, man. He lost his mom. You lose your mom. That alone is amazing. It's hard to deal with. You know what I mean? So let's hope that he come with a fresh up. Maybe a new start could be better for him. Who knows? But I'm rooting for the brother. You know what I mean? I want him to come here and do the damn thing, because I think Jalen Brunson, Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, if it's Josh Hart or it's 5 with that dude, that's one of the top defensive teams in the NBA by far. Literally. Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, if it's Mitchell Robinson and Cat and whoever, and if it's Deuce McBride and man, that team is gonna be hard to score on. And that's that's why I like the trade, because that defense become more better. I love Julius Randle, but Julius Randle was one of our best defenders. He was subpar. He was subpar. You know, we always used to get on him all the time because he would take plays off. Why he ain't do this? I get that. And I'm not beating up Julius Randle, but I'm saying Cat defense can't be worse than Julius Randle. He blocks 1 point over 2 shots a game. So,
right.
It's tough, man. It's interesting. I think it's going to be dynamic, but things come from not knowing. So I'll wait and see. But I believe in this team. And I believe this team is going to be right where I think they're going to be. When all the smoke settles, the New York Knicks, we playing Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals on the way to the championship.
Hey, Devon, I don't disagree with you at all. Actually, like I've been saying, this has to be the trajectory for this team, is for Cat to eat.
Yep.
When you make a move like this and you give up these pieces, that has to be the trajectory, especially when you look at what the Knicks inventory is now looking like. Remember, guys, at the beginning of the season, we talked about, okay, the Knicks have all this in their stash. We're waiting for the moves to be made. The picks are gone. The money's gone. The Knicks have to show up now.
That's right.
Unless they make another trade that we don't see coming like this one. Well, we kind of did, but unless they make another smaller trade that we don't see coming, this is the team that we got. Because the money's getting tight and the picks are gone. You got like probably one protected pick, and I don't even know if that's still here at this point because they just shipped off the Detroit one. And we can't ship off our picks in consecutive seasons, so they might have those odd year picks, every other year pick, but I mean you can't give up so many of those. So the Knicks are gonna have to,
Washington.
So they're gonna have to ride it out. And like you said, Shaw just got the Washington pick. So I'm interested to see what the Knicks do. I'm holding my breath because I feel like a move has to be made. I just can't see them making this move right here, Devon, and them saying, "Oh, we're gonna have Cat play center for the first 25 games." I just can't see that happening. Something else has got to give.
I think you're right about that, Sam, because I don't see it either, especially somebody who has to deal with all the stuff we already talked about with him, and then he's got to come in and play a position that he really doesn't want to play. I just think it's a lot, and I think they have to think about that and be smart about it, because we need him to play to the best of his ability. And if he ain't happy, I'm telling you, he's not going to play right. I'm telling you, they got to make him happy too. The other thing too is, and shout out to Ted Canova. Didn't we assume Donte's playing time was going to be dramatically reduced, but not like this, not traded reduced? No. But yeah, I hear you, bro. It's true. But they were going to find a way to play Donte. Like he was going to get integral minutes. But I think the situation is that, I mean, look, if we're looking at it from a business standpoint, outside of the fact that he's a Nova boy and he's one of, Jalen Brunson's people, what are we talking about? I hate when I start doing this, because now I'm starting to rationalize. We're talking about a bench player who became a starter and had heavy impact for us, but he's always been a bench player. You know, he started here and there for teams, but he was primarily a bench player. So when it goes to the fact that, okay, you're trading Julius Randle and what is a quote unquote bench player for Karl-Anthony Towns, it looks a little different. It just, we know that Donte had such an incredible season last year, and he's, you know, the paisan. He's got some athleticism. He just fits the New York style of grit, and he fits well in with the Villanova boys. But it is what it is. After, as John said when we had our show a couple weeks ago, we are not gonna like it if we hear that it happens. But eventually we're gonna get over it, and we're gonna be rooting for our Knicks, because no matter what happens, guys, I always say we still Knicks fans. This is gonna be tested.
I will say this though, guys. I am interested to see. I don't know how this would affect the cap, but I'm interested to see how that Bridges extension gets done now. Does he go ahead and knock that out at some point during the season? Because we know that he'll be due. He could extend his deal if he would like to go ahead and get that out the way. I'm intrigued to see what he decides to do, because I know that we were pretty much hinting at before this trade that it was going to be Randle and then Bridges who was going to extend first. So I'm interested to see how the Bridges extension gets done now, considering that's pretty much the only guy that we're worried about extension now, that's extension eligible, since Brunson's already been taken care of.
Right. And shout out to Ran Rock in the building. Real quick, I just want to say, yeah, apparently Ran Rock, there was moments, I don't know if it was this season or the previous season, where we played Minnesota. Karl-Anthony Towns and Tibbs got to chuck it up, chuckle a little bit. They talked, whatever. I don't even know if more happened. Who knows? But we don't know about everything. They might have went out to dinner and talked a little bit more about stuff, but apparently they're on good terms. So the whole, and the other thing happened. Remember, when Tibbs was with Minnesota, Karl-Anthony Towns was still a young player coming to his own. He was becoming the man. He wasn't ready to hear from a guy like Tibbs at that point. But now that time has passed, the whole stuff happened with Butler, with Jimmy Butler. The stuff happened with Patrick Beverly. Now you start to grow up and you start to understand basketball more, and then you start to realize, oh, I get what Tibbs was trying to say now. Now it makes more sense to him. Now he's better to he's at a better place to receive it. So I wouldn't worry about that. Go ahead, Shah. What were we gonna say?
I forgot.
Oh, damn, my fault, brother.
I forgot.
My fault.
It'll come back around. I forgot what we were talking about, but I'm just trying to be this optimistic, man, because this guy Cat is not a bad player, man. He is a very good player, 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA. The guy's a phenomenal player, man, and I think this is going to change the dynamic of how. And once again, we got 2 more days. Don't be surprised if another shoe drop and you see Mitchell Robinson gone, and we pick up Clint Capella. Or Aiden or something.
They've been talking about Clint Capella, yeah.
So it with the money that they have left, they have a little bit of money left with Mitchell Robinson contract, Diop Bates contract. I don't know who else they got left after that to really get to. I think Clint Capella's around $20 million, but or maybe we'll make that trade with Valanciunas and send back Washington pick with Mitch Robinson.
There you go.
You could get Valanciunas, right? Because Valanciunas makes a good a nice number.
Yeah,
so I mean that's something to look at. I mean, we always talking about not so long ago that the Knicks are gonna do something, make a trade, and with this trade being made, and we all talked about Cat. We all talked about it. We didn't know it was gonna come tonight, Friday at the 10, 9:30, 8:30, 9:30, whenever it dropped, that it was gonna go down, and the Knicks pulled another trigger that we all talked about it, but didn't know if we ever could make that trade, and we did it. Oh, we all talked about the money and all this stuff. Somehow, some way, Brock Alla and Leon Rose sat down and got their calculator out and start doing the thing. And however it's going to work, even if we make it into the second, if we can't make it into the second even without getting the big man. You know what I mean? So Mitchell Robinson and that first round pick, don't be surprised if we get Valanciunas on Sunday.
I mean, listen, I wouldn't be surprised anything could happen, but I got to tell you, this is like a surreal moment. Even though I know we've been here talking for 2 hours about this, I still can't believe we're talking about it. Like, I can't believe this happened. I'm still
Yeah.
wilding out.
I was shocked, bro. I was in a state of shock. My brother texted me. But let me ask you a question real quick.
Look at Nice's face. Nice don't know what to say, man.
Nice. Do y'all think that this deal was in the works, let's say 2 weeks ago, because they probably knew they were going to ship Divincenzo out, and that's why they brought in Landry Shamet? Because that's what Shamet do. Same game, 3-point specialist, can knock it down out there. Yeah, he do the same thing. Maybe not as athletic and all that, but veteran guy who the 3-point specialist. So it could be that they probably thought about this a while, like a couple of weeks ago, or maybe longer than that, and say, you know what? Well, let's bring Shamet in here. Let's give him a try. If we know we're going to have to trade Divincenzo to make the money match, obviously that's the only other guy I could think about. So they probably had this thing kind of lined up already, and they said, let's bring this dude and see if he can make the roster on Exhibit 9, Exhibit 10, whatever. And if he make it, now I can see why they got a guy like Shamet, playoff, been around for years, been in playoff battles, understand battle tested. Do you think that they might have thought about this maybe a couple of weeks ago and say, well, we're going to lose Donte? At least they thought about it anyway. So let's bring in Shamet because we're going to lose this guy. And, I guess these guys work, like you said, they work in silence, and that's how I respect Leon Rose. They move, they don't let you know nothing. They just go and make it happen. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And I think you're right, Divine. I think that's probably what they did, because I thought it was kind of like, don't get me wrong, I get it. Like you want to have competition battles and you want to make, you want to get the best out of your players, right? I just thought that was kind of wild, man. We had just signed Shamet to an Exhibit 10 or Exhibit 9, whatever it's called, and then you go out and get Mook like a couple days. Like I was like, damn, that's messed up. Like then now you got to make him fight against Mook, who was a former Knick, and he's a tough guy. We need that tough presence. That's like almost like the writing's on the wall. Now they make this trade, and Shamet basically has a spot, unless they make another trade. But he's got a spot on the roster now.
Wow, it's gonna be interesting the next couple of weeks, man. It's gonna be interesting for the season.
I hope it isn't Shamet though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope that they just go ahead and have him there. Now I will say this though, Devon, they did a good job of upgrading the back of that bench. If that's what the back of the bench is going to be with Mook, Shamet, and then Chuma Okeke, I'll take that over to Quan Jeffries and whoever else we had, Charlie Brown last year. Now, I will say that's a good upgrade, but I'm not looking forward to seeing Shamet. I'm be just blunt. I don't want to see that.
I want you.
I don't want to see it.
I want you.
Well, I mean, and the thing about it is the odd man out there is, shout out to Johnny Davis in the building. What's good, brother? Hope you're doing well. Whoa, we moved Divincenzo and Julius Randle for Karl-Anthony Towns. That's it. That's all you need to know. But I think the odd man out is Okeke, because he's also on an Exhibit 9. We only have 2 legitimate spots available. So if you're going between those 3 people that are on Exhibit 9s, right, you got Mook, you got Shamet, and you got Okeke. So some of you may say, well, damn, I'd rather have Okeke than Shamet. But then you got to go back to what fits the team. Because remember, you got Okeke, but you also got Dadier, you got McCullers, and you got right now still currently on the team in some form or fashion, Bates Diop. Shamet fits more of a need for a positional need than having Okeke, even, because you got these other guys. So I don't know, bro. I think Okeke's the odd man out. I think Shamet gets a spot. I think Mook gets a spot. And it don't matter because those guys ain't really going to play in my mind. But I just think they'll have spots on the roster. And we'll see. Honestly, the only good thing out of this whole trade that I have to learn to deal with is, this gives us a possible chance to see Deuce step up and Tyler Kolek get minutes. That's the only thing I could say that I'm like, that's a good thing in my mind, because I definitely think, I'm telling you, I know I'm still not we all, because some of us are okay with it. I'm still a little upset about the fact that Julius Randle is gone. I just am, because I've warmed up to Julius Randle over the years, and now I respected him as a person and his game and where it's come so much more now than ever before. And then to see him get traded, especially when I know that he really wanted to be here and win here, it sucks. And then the Dante thing is just, you're just adding more insult to injury. But it is what it is. You got to give up something to get a guy like Karl-Anthony Towns. Fine. But now all I'm looking for is to see, because I got to tell you, this would bother me. I know it doesn't compare, but if we traded Tyler Kolek and then 1 to 2 years later or 3 years later, this dude becomes a stud on somebody else's team, I would be sick, because we know that he could be something possibly here. I would definitely be upset if we got rid of him, and we still could get rid of him. I hope we don't. I hope the Knicks realize that they might have something there, and I just think that the 1-2 punch of having a Jalen Brunson as your starting point guard and then Kolek coming off the bench, I just think we a problem.
Yeah,
but that's my opinion. Just saying.
It's all about the risk you take too, Unc. You know, that's pretty much the risk you got to take in any pro league, is shipping a guy off with potential, because you have to gain to get and you have to give the gain. So I mean, if we had to get him up out of here, you know, I'm a Kolek stan, but if we have to get him out of here to get a center, then that might be what has to happen. I mean, if that's what is included in the package, I wouldn't be mad at it, because I know whatever we're shipping him to is gonna use him. So as long as Kolek is being used, I wish the best for him, but I would prefer to see it in a Knicks jersey. But if we have to get rid of him to get a center, then that's just what has to happen.
I don't know if you guys used to have this problem with fans that, let's say for some reason you don't end up buying it real quick, and let's say it keeps on spinning, but you leave it comes to a moment that you leave it alone because it's working fine, and you rather not even touch it. And all of a sudden, once you touch it, it stopped working for good.
Yeah.
Because what happened? We actually had Alex Berg a couple years ago. Every single time he played for us, everything looks good. All right, we traded quickly. Well, we could get back Alex Berg. It used to work with Alex Berg. It didn't work. Sometimes it's not what you think. It's what you see. This team had chemistry. Why are we playing with that chemistry? We do not know now if that's like that monkey wrench that disrupt everything. And it only starts with one. If one doesn't bite and be like, you know something, I'm out of here. That's it. All those trade, all those picks, everything that we was about to see. I can't. This vibe is giving me vibes from even worse than Evan Fournier with Kemba Walker. Even worse. Brunson, I didn't feel like that bad. Like, it was like, well, 100 mil, it could be good, it could be bad. It's okay. But this one is too risky.
It's going to be tough, nice, but I as fans, all we can do is say to ourselves, look, the mantra can't change, right? We just have to keep believing, because if we keep believing, we'll understand it and we'll respect it more. In Leon, we trust, because so far, every time he does something, it works out. It may not initially be like, what are we doing? But it works out. So I'm just going to give it a moment, give it a beat, that the Knicks have put themselves in a position that they feel like they can win. They have everything they need to be dynamic. They have everything they need to deal with a team like Philadelphia, who, by the way, listen, you look at that overall roster from top to bottom, that Philadelphia roster is a problem. As Knicks fans, we don't want to face things because we don't like Philadelphia, and we smack them. Guess what? That team is good. So this puts us in a position where now they can't do anything better than we can do. That's a fact, right? This also puts us in a position where now we can compete with Boston. They don't really got anything up on us. Now, is Boston still technically a better team than us? Maybe, but because they did win the championship. Right. It's a certain level of confidence you get when you can bring home the chip. All right. And that's just how it is. And they also, I mean, listen, say what we want to say about Boston. They ran through everybody last year. No matter if they had this guy hurt, this guy was out, they was winning, they was kicking everybody. So we got to respect them. Do I think we could beat them? Yes. Do I think we could have beat them with Julius? Yes. But we got to go back to the whole thing. I've been talking about it for a minute. Somebody in the Knicks organization felt like Julius Randle might not have fit with this current team.
Facts.
Right. And that we know that for a fact. We don't know who it was, but somebody felt that. And maybe they had a good reason. With the money you had to pay him, with the fact that he's coming back from that injury and his style of play, right? Maybe bringing in Mikal Bridges affected that, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to look at it like that, but maybe that did affect that.
RJ Barrett style of player.
You know, we got to look at it like that. When they made that move to bring in Mikal Bridges and give up all those picks, they said we are committing to this, and then he's the type of player that gives us what we need. But this may affect Julius Randle's cohesion on the team because of how he plays. And they obviously had a plan. They knew that they were going to do this. We never know anything, but they obviously they 10 steps ahead of us. So they obviously had a plan. We just got to see how it turns out. I don't love it because of the sentimental value, and I think Julius Randle's a really good player who could have fit in with this team. But I ain't going to lie to you and say that I know for a fact that it was going to work out great and that the chemistry was going to be fantastic. The spacing was going to be fantastic. I don't know any of that. But one thing you do know with Karl-Anthony Towns, the spacing, you got no choice but for the spacing to be better because he stays out there in the perimeter. So it's got to be better. So we'll see.
Brunson on the pick and pop. Brunson just attacking the paint. Defenders trying to close out. Then he's kicking it out to OG or Bridges.
Or Carl.
Yeah, or Carl. It's going to be clockwork.
And another big thing to think about too, even if we do hit that second apron, we still have a good good standings. We got a player that's $50 million now. And I mean, so if we really want to get a $50 million player, we got one of them over here. You know what I mean? So if we're looking for the Embiids or the Giannis's or the whoever else that's that $50 million piece that we you know what I mean that we're looking for, we have it on our team now. You know what I mean? Even if we go into the second apron, that 1-for-1 deal now, that if you want to look at that, I just want to see what the rest of this weekend is going to be like, man. I think something else. I think Mitch Robinson is going before that before the 30th. I think he's going before the 30th. When is that? Monday, right? Yeah, Monday. So I think he's going before the 30th.
Hey, another point, Rob, we all got to take into consideration too. Like, we knew this was going to happen. I'll tell you, I knew Julius Randle was getting traded. You can't get that man $200 million or $186 million when you got Anunoby with the money. Jalen Brunson in 4 years going to get $300 million. He sacrifices money up front to get it out the back end. But here's another thing too, though. I believe the New York Knicks just figured this here. We can't sign Julius Randle, or who else is out there? Like, who else is really? Sometimes it might be what the inventory is out there. It might not have been no other player they can get like Karl-Anthony Towns. It might not have been nobody. You know what I mean? So it might have been the inventory was limited. The New York Knicks was not signing Julius Randle. The minute when he was eligible for that extension and they didn't do it, I was like, they about to trade him.
IQ status.
The economics didn't line up for the New York Knicks. It just did. It just didn't line up. They couldn't afford to pay Julius Randle.
And you know something, Divine? Just because what you just said right now, you just gave me a little bit of hope. Just because at the same time, you just don't know if now his value drops down because certain things is not working with him, and now it's impossible to trade, and now it's even more of a conundrum. So it's just sad in all levels. But now the only thing that we have is let's just wait and see.
Yeah. Ted Canova says, isn't it funny? Not long ago, our biggest issue was not being able to attract a marquee free agent. Now we're talking about a team that could compete with Boston and Philly. It's true. It's wild, man. Things change. And Craig says, what is the league saying about our trade? You know what? I'm gonna do my little research between tonight and tomorrow, and we're gonna talk about it on tomorrow's show. What others around the league feel about the trade? Yeah, man. This is. What'd you say?
I said, the media is gonna hate.
No, the media.
Knicks
The media.
we know.
the media right now is saying thumbs up for us and thumbs down for Minnesota.
I
They
mean, the
saying that it's a great what is it? A minus, A minus, A plus on other sites, but it's for the Knicks, and for Minnesota is either B minus to C.
I think it
Well, I
goes to
saw.
what Divine was saying. Sorry, Unc. I think it goes to what
Mhm.
Divine was saying on that, and it's more so of the spacing that Minnesota's going to have, and how he just said,
Mm.
how they relied on Cat and Ant to pretty much do the scoring. Now you've
It,
got to rely on an even more packed lane for Ant. He's not going to have those cuts now because
hey,
teams already know Randall's not shooting at that clip. I mean, they
Mhm.
just don't have the shooters around. I guess you put Dante into it starting, but still, Anthony Edwards is not going to get the same type of free lanes he was getting last season. So I
Mhm.
think that is going to play a factor, and also with the fact that now the Timberwolves got to pay the piper. We
yeah,
escaped, but now the Timberwolves
Yeah.
got to pay Randall. There's no way unless they
and
just
it's
let him walk, because they could do that too. But I don't see that unless they just let Randall walk. They got to pay the piper. So right now it looks like it's a lot of things that the Timberwolves have to consider. But there's definitely a world also where they don't pay Randall, and Randall's a free agent.
You know, here's another thing that I was thinking about. These things just pop into my head. What if, because Julius Randle does have some hesitation about the shoulder, and it's going to take him a little time just naturally to recover fully. What if his game is going to be different and more perimeter based anyway this year? And so for Minnesota, they're like, well, he's going to be chucking it up, and Randall wants to chuck it up, and the Knicks was like, well, we need you to be a more of an inside presence because we like the way you play with us that way. So
yeah,
there might have been a little, plus we also know about the spacing. You know what I mean? But we've seen that when Julius Randle has the combination of both styles of game, he can be really dynamic and very effective. And let's not forget, when he was doing that, he did it at a high clip. One season, he shot 41%. But then when he tried to be, especially when it's funny, it all ties into him, uh, you know, unveiling the new school the other day, because the program that he was a part of, that every time he hits a three, he donates money to them. 2 years ago, it's the same season. He was jacking up threes and he wasn't efficient. He hit a lot of threes, but he was not efficient really doing it. So it's just interesting that could be the case. And I definitely think that with Rudy Gobert, that whack Frenchy guy over there, I mean, I know he's good, but he's whack. He's whack to me. Um, that's going to allow Julius Randle to just live on the perimeter. So maybe we in our minds think that he doesn't give them the spacing that Karl-Anthony did, but I think he will. He may not shoot it as good, but then again, we never know, because we did see Julius shoot 40% from three for a season. Um, well, 40, I think it was 40 from the corners. Maybe it was 38 or something from the other spots. But the point is, he shot really well. So you just never know. It might work out okay over there. But outside of me saying that, I do think I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota. I don't know if you got to wait, but I wouldn't be surprised if they flip Julius somewhere else. You know what I mean? I could see that
Why do
happening.
y'all think the Knicks traded him? What's y'all gut feeling why the Knicks traded Julius Randle? What's the reason why they would trade him? I guess I would say.
I mean, I'm gonna let everybody else answer, but I'm gonna just say that if the only reason I could think that they would have done it is because of the fact that they know that he can command some really big money, and maybe he didn't want to accept the extension off the bat. Like when Brunson decided to do it, and then Macau says he's going to take less, and Julius may not have wanted to do it initially. We don't know, because I'm still trying to find a little bit more about that little thing that crossed my phone. If I find out that Julius Randle wanted the extension and the Knicks didn't want to give it to him, that's a whole nother thing. I don't know what that says, but I don't know. I would think that that's the case. I just think that if we're going to be honest, I just don't think the Knicks feel like, outside of the extension, that Julius Randle is worth that type of money. He's not necessarily a defensive player. He can play defense, but we got issues there. And so I think that they look at that and like, man, I mean, he could command upwards of 300 million. Not that he'll get anywhere near that, but you don't want to give him a slap in the face either. You want to respect him. And maybe they feel like even that is too much money to be giving a guy who may not necessarily be a two-way player and has not proven that he can win in the playoffs yet. Not that it's fair, because he's been hurt, but just saying.
But it could also work for his advantage, Ron, because remember, he's in a contract year. So that's another reason I wanted to rather just keep him, because even he has even more pressure to actually show up in the playoff, because that's going to be his bread and butter. That's what's going to distinguish how much he's going to end up getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
And if we end up getting a championship with Julius Randle, I don't give a. I'm gonna reserve that word, but I wouldn't even care how much we end up paying him. You know why? Because he deserves it. Like if he ended up coming to a team that nobody wanted to come, it was Kevin Durant, it was Kyrie Irving, and he said, "Nah, cool, I'll take it. I'll take the challenge." And he was playing with mediocre players around him. All of a sudden, we got better little by little. Now we got Brunson. Wow, I just felt like this right here. We talking about Jeremy Lin Cinderella story. This right here, it was an actual Cinderella story with Julius Randle, because all that and think about thumbs down and all that is like up and down roller coaster. And to end up getting the championship, man, you could make a movie out of that play.
Yeah. Yeah, you're in line. I want to see what the rest of you guys feel about that as well. But shout out to Paris. He said, my reason divine is Randall didn't want to take less and was walking next summer for nothing. You know, the only thing that gets a little confusing for us as Knicks fans is we get so much different information. We get told one thing or not told one thing, and people speculate, and then everybody's speculating. So we're like, oh, is that it? And then we find out something else. The one thing that I would point back to earlier, and then I'll let you guys talk about it, is remember there was a point where it felt like Julius Randle was telling everybody that I am no longer taking any cuts. Like, I'm trying to get paid. I'm going with Skechers. I'm going overseas to these different camps. I'm coming up with my own sneaker. I'm getting my endorsements. I'm changing my agent. I'm not messing with CAA. I'm about the money. Then he comes back to CAA. But anyway, but there was a point where we thought, oh, okay, well, he's taking a pay cut before. Randall's trying to get his money now.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows if when he went back to CAA and we thought he was back on track, maybe he isn't. Maybe he's still in the mindset, I'm going to get my money. And maybe that's just not where the Knicks see it. We just don't know. All we can do right now is speculate. In the end, I mean, I want you guys to weigh in, but in the end, it doesn't really matter because he's gone. So what are we going to do? But Keyshawn, what you think? Why you think that the Knicks felt like they had to move him?
I mean, I felt like they was gonna do that all along the whole time. I feel like he was the most valuable player that we had, and I just think they believed that he had a certain ceiling to his game, and they needed someone with a higher ceiling and a higher potential. And I think they were waiting for a move for Giannis because, like, there was rumbles about that, but Giannis decided to stay with Milwaukee. Same with Joel Embiid. I think they were waiting for the right person or like a Zion. I think they had him on the list too, but it just turned out Cat was the guy. So, I mean, like I think he has a higher ceiling than Randall personally. No shade to Randall. If it all works out in the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he was like their first pick. Like I said, I think they wanted like a Zion or like a Giannis or some shit. I'm sorry.
Right. Nah,
but yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's it really.
What you think, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of similar to what some of the other guys sounds like are saying, and he just wasn't going to get paid. In my opinion, I just think Randall's taking a pay cut, whether we like to say it or not. He took a pay cut the first time around. He saw JB took a pay cut for the betterment of the team. He saw that there was money potentially there for the taking, and he could capitalize. We got to remember, guys, Randall's pushing 30. He's not in the spot that Brunson's in. He's not in the spot that Bridges is in. Not in the spot that OG Anunoby's in where he can get another deal, even though OG got paid a bag. Randall is pushing 30. He's probably got 2 more contracts, really 1 big contract to set him up, and then he's probably got that last career contract that he'll probably just get extended on. So I just think that it was more so of, okay, Cat does necessarily fit more closer to the timeline of the other players, with him being 27, Brunson 27.
Oh, he's 28 now.
Yeah, 28. Well, still, closer than Randle, who's going to be turning 30 this season. So
yeah,
I think it's kind of, more so them just trying to fit the timeline. And also, like Keyshawn said, we all know that Cat has the better potential. That's been something that hasn't been questioned since the day Cat stepped into the NBA. Everybody already knew that. It's just more so how can he show that on a consistent basis? And like the critics have on him, just the playoff performance. That's pretty much what it is. Can he help lead a team to the finals? He's been so close year in year, but he hasn't made it yet. So, I mean, he's a guy who you really don't have to worry about necessarily with playoff experience, but you're going to be worried about him showing up on a consistent basis when you need these matters and these moments for him to show up. He's going to be a guy making 50 mil. So he's making the most money per year of any player on the team. So he's going to have to, show up when his number's called, but I don't think it will be necessarily so much pressure on him with Brunson still being the guy. I think this trade right here shows you that Brunson's still the guy. And he's definitely got a very good number 2 piece, and arguably Cat is the number 1 on teams in the league, which, if anything, is good for the Knicks. To have 2 guys who you could argue could be a number 1 option on any NBA team, I think that's a very good problem to have. But like I said, I'm still waiting, as everybody else is, to see what the center position is looking like, because I just don't personally feel comfortable with the whole small ball thing for multiple games. I'm kind of worried about that, and I don't want to see them just say, oh, heck with it, we're going to slide Precious to the 5. I don't want to see that either.
Yeah. Shah, what's your thoughts on this thing? What you think? What does it come down to, brother?
I think I'm going to deviate from everyone else, and I'm going to say that Mikal Bridges coming over here made Julius Randle a little obsolete. I'm going to say Mikal Bridges, because Mikal Bridges, what we look for in what we looked in RJ Barrett is what we get in Mikal Bridges. Someone that's about 50% from the free throw percentage, about 40% from the 3-point line, and about 90% from the free throw line. And those 2 players, when they played together, played okay together, RJ and Julius Randle. And now that Mikal is here, and he's probably going to get enough shots to make a better RJ version here, whatever you want to say, that Julius Randle, with the salary that's lingering over the head of paying him this big amount of money, and on top of that, to put the cherry on top, the connections. I mean, the connections that they had. So with those 3 things together, I think that's what got Julius Randle out of here.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I think what everybody said all plays into it. I think everybody was spot on when it comes to that. I think it all matters. To be honest. I think what we know with this front office, man, they don't move like we want them to move. They move how they're going to move. They also do a lot of thinking, because you can tell that they have plans that sometimes we don't even think about. And then when it's something like, at least like the whole idea of Karl-Anthony Towns coming to the Knicks is not a shot in the dark. Like, we've already kind of discussed it. We've seen how it, it's a possibility could happen. And we've talked about the benefits of it in the past, but we never realistically thought it could happen or would happen. But the point is, it's something that's always been there, and we've had to look at it. Not for nothing, everything that we've thought about the Knicks and what their plans have been has come to fruition. It's like the writing's always been on the wall. The only thing that fell through was Donovan Mitchell. And that's only because of the fact that Jalen Brunson just became a monster. Because the better Jalen Brunson came, the less we needed Donovan Mitchell. And then the other pieces around him just started to fill in perfectly. Donte filled in perfectly. And you start to say, man, if you look at Donte's numbers and look at Donovan's numbers, it's very similar. So, I mean, why do we need Donovan? We could probably get that from Divincenzo, or we can get it from somebody else. And that's what basically destroyed the Donovan Mitchell thoughts.
And
But
last thing
Mhm.
too that I'll say, because I'm gonna get out of here, so I make sure I can make the show tomorrow
oh,
morning.
me too. I'm trying
Go
to
ahead and
like. I'm
plug
hopefully I
that.
can do
So I
it.
just want to say I do plan on making an appearance tomorrow morning. But before I do get out of here, I just wanted to say I did see this tweet from Ramona Shelburne. You know, she's with ESPN a while ago, and she pretty much said that the talks were already happening all summer. Once the extension did not happen with Randle, the Knicks was already looking to get him up out of there. So I mean, it really just happened that they found a third team. As soon as they found the third team, it just happened to be the Hornets for us in this situation. The trigger was pulled. So I mean that pretty much was the only holdup as we see, because the Knicks couldn't have just made the money work straight up. So they needed another team in there. So I think that with Charlotte coming calling, saying, "Hey, I want a piece of the trade," that pretty much just solidified that Randle was gone. Because we all knew, like, okay, where's the Randle extension? We were all thinking it all summer. I mean, it just never happened. So I mean, that only solidifies that, hey, it didn't really work. I still hope Randle gets paid. It won't be from the Knicks, but it'll be from somebody. And we wish him well with the rest of his career. But at the
That's a
end of the
fact.
day, the Knicks had to do something that for the betterment of the team moving forward. You couldn't afford to get into a little dispute with Randle and lose him for nothing. So if that's the case, then this was probably one of the better moves that they could have made out there for who's available currently.
Yeah, that's
Fact.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just tough. It's just tough to kind of, wrap your head around it. We all gonna need a nice good sleep to just wake up tomorrow morning and realize Julius Randle ain't on the Knicks no more. It's just wild.
I know I'm a miss.
Um
I was a big Randle fan, but I understand it because it's a business. I understand every bit of it. It's a business, man. Some of the guys, some of the prolific guys you never thought got traded in the NBA. KD and you name it, Kyrie. Some of the most powerful dudes in the NBA get traded, bro. You know what I mean? And I just thought that I think it was something Sharp Power said. Let me end it on, at least on my note. Let me ask y'all an honest question. Who would you rather have as a player in a Tibbs system? Mikal Bridges or Julius Randle? In a Tibbs system. Not who's better. In Tibbs basketball system, who would you rather have? Julius Randle or Mikal Bridges?
Oh, Bridges.
There you go, right
Exactly.
there.
yeah.
Exactly.
You're not gonna pay a guy $200 million who can't play both sides of the ball. You paying him.
That's always gonna be an issue, bro. That's always gonna be an issue.
Yeah, because he don't play both sides of the ball. So you're gonna give Mikal that money. Mikal can play both sides of the ball. Julius Randle can't play both sides of the ball. So are you giving the guy $200 million? See, that's why they gave Anunoby the money, because he could play both sides of the ball. It's like you paying the guy $200 million just to score points. Anybody can score a basketball because anybody play defense. That's the caveat to me. That's why I think Sharp Power was dead on with that. They said I'd rather give Mikal the money because he could do something for us in Tibbs system that Julius Randle can't do. And that's go on and guard the best other player, the best defender on the perimeter, lock him down, a la Jason Tatum, a la all them dudes. Julius Randle can't do that. Mikal and Anunoby could. That's why they got paid. And that's why he didn't get paid. I think that's what at least in the Knicks. You know what I mean?
No, and I think that's facts, bro. I think that's 100% facts, and that's what it comes down to. The Knicks have been, look, I'm the Knicks have been making moves to change the dynamic of this basketball team for a long time. And as much as I always have to look at these in different vacuums, right? You guys already know. I've already said it enough. So those who may think it's not the case, look, I really grown to love Julius Randle's game, and I really like the man as a person. And this year I was expecting big things from him. Okay, that being said, he's gone.
Yep.
The Knicks have been trying to get higher IQ basketball players on this team for a while, and no knock on Julius Randle. Talent-wise, he's there. But if you want to talk about IQ, Mikal Bridges has a stronger and a better basketball IQ than Julius Randle, and he's a much better defender without question. We know all that. But that points to the fact that you want to continue to do these things and keep building. Now, Karl-Anthony Towns, I'm not going to question his IQ. Do I think he knows how to play basketball? Yes. Do I think he knows everything he needs to do? Yes. Do I think he does it all the time? No. But that I'm not going to say he can't do it, because what I will say, and this is the one thing I'm holding my hat on, and that's why I just have to deal with it. Everybody now that the Knicks are a good team and they have their system in place, everybody that's come over and joined this team has had really great years, some career years.
Right.
And let's not forget, this is the other thing. We're going to talk a little bit more about that tomorrow too, guys. Let's not forget, no matter what you've seen, Karl-Anthony Towns' best seasons happened under Tom Thibodeau. I'm just going to throw that out there again. Once again, that's the truth. So let's see what Tom Tibbs can do with Karl-Anthony Towns over here. Let's see if now that, and it goes back to that thing that I said before. Remember when you guys remember if we've talked and I said, man, all these teams is missing a Jalen Brunson. Philadelphia, well, you know what they would do with a Jalen Brunson? You just keep naming all these teams that are close, but they're missing something. They're missing a Jalen Brunson. Well, maybe Karl-Anthony Towns was missing a Jalen Brunson. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let me just get around to everybody, get your final words, because I got to get off this, eat something. Then I got to work on whatever the hell I'm going to talk about for tomorrow's show. Let's get it going, baby. We here. Sam, final words, bro?
Yeah, so as always, I'm a little bit more calmed down now than when I first joined, but as everybody else. But maybe that's because one, I'm partially tired, and two, I think it's settling in with me now. What we've got moving forward. So I'm optimistic, and as everybody else has said, at the end of the day, we're all Knicks fans, so we want the Knicks to win anyway. We got a couple of guys up here. They were fortunate enough, but me. The young one of the group, 24 years old. I have not seen the Knicks even sniff an Eastern Conference Finals. So if they have the potential to do so, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I haven't seen it, so I would love to see it. And the championship is what we all strive to see our teams win. So let's hope that this puts us in the direction to do so. But with that being said, peace and blessings to everybody. Thank you, Young, for having me on again. Prayers for everybody and your family moving forward in this tough time that we've got, and with this election period going on as well. So, prayers for everybody and their family and their loved ones out there. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
All right.
Sounds good, brother. I appreciate you as always, Sam. Good to see you and good to chop it up with you. Yeah, this is good therapy for all of us.
It is.
Nice. Final words, my brother?
Yeah, let's just wish for the best on both ends. I mainly feel just bummed for Julius Randle because I just feel like he was completely misunderstood by the fan base. Like he wanted to do something. Unfortunately, certain things didn't work that on his favor. But I just wanted to just be the team that at least that, all right, if we separate from Julius Randle, let's do this for him because at least the first round he actually took a pay cut to make this thing work. And when you have team that appreciate sacrifices like that, and you pay your due diligence the correct way, is nothing but blessing for that team. But when you do certain things like that, and I understand both ends. I understand Julius Randle. I understand the New York Knicks organization for doing it like that. But I just don't feel good about that. Like I believe in karma. I believe that it's gonna bite them right in the behind. To any organization that moves that way. Right. I just wish that everything just was smooth, Yeah.
No, I hear you, brother. Listen, I hope the Knicks win the championship this year. And let me tell you, if the Knicks do win the championship, I know they can't do it because it's no legal, like it doesn't make sense to do it. As far as giving people rings and stuff like that. I'm really speculating because we're talking about championships here. But if the Knicks were able to win a championship, say what you will. Julius Randle should get a lot of credit for helping start what's going on here and helping to bring whoever did come over here. And also even Scott Perry and Steve Mills. Did they have the idea to see were their best people to see it through? No. But did they have the blueprint, like the idea to get us started and get the picks and stuff that we needed to start moving like a regular organization? Yeah, they helped clean it up. So you got to give them credit too for at least getting that done. Keyshawn, did I go to you yet for your final words?
No.
Oh, yeah, your final words, my brother, and then I'm gonna get to the positive brothers in the chat in the panel.
Yeah, that's what you did, Ron.
Yeah, but yeah, I think everyone should stay positive. Well, more so just try to understand like how it could benefit the Knicks, you know, instead of like trying to bash it the whole time. I understand, Julius, like he came up with us through like the tough times when we had like Reggie Bullock and all that, Alfred. Oh my God. But yeah, but I understand the sentimental connection to him, you know. But he's in he'll be in a good situation in Minnesota, and you know, I I think personally that this could open the door. This could get us to another level, but it's all potential. We just gotta wait and see. So that's just what it is.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. Shout out to Donald DiMichelli. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. He said we ain't winning nothing this year or this decade now. Well, I will tell you, I know it's going to be hard for you to deal with, and like I'm wrapping my head around it now. But we're going to get into it more, and as we get closer, and then we see preseason, we're going to see that this Knicks team is a damn good team, and what they're going to be able to do is going to be something special. It's just all about, like I said, I don't really do. I think the Knicks team right now is better than what it was yesterday. Don't know. Maybe it will be. I'll tell you this. I don't think it's, and this is just honest. I do not think we're worse. I think we are just as good as we were yesterday, and if not better because of the possibility of the spacing and how it opens up lanes for the rest of the guys. Like we got legitimate spacing now because you know how good Cat is at knocking down the three. But we just got to see how it translates because nobody at this point, I'm starting to feel like the Knicks is like Miami now. Nobody cares about the regular season. Just get to the playoffs and then do the damn thing in the playoffs. Now I'm starting to feel like that. So we'll see where we go. Ooh, that's a rough one. Nah, nothing could be worse than that, bro. Clyde Frazier for Jim Clemens. I mean, that was a rough one. Shah, how you feel, brother? Final words?
Yeah, man. Just I think this was another move that the Knicks front office wanted to do, and it is a strong move, and it's something else. Another shoe is going to drop to finalize this starting five. I'm hopeful for, like I said, I'm hopeful for Jericho Sims, but I don't think he's going to be the center that we're looking for. I think we're going to make another trade, and I'm real positive on what Deuce McBride can do with a little bit more minutes on the court with his defense and his 3-point perspective that he does have. Cat is going to change that whole starting lineup, and what we're going to say once if I don't want to say if because if is a fifth, but anyway, if Jalen Brunson and Cat can build some sustainable minutes together on the court and start really putting it together with OG and Mikal Bridges on the wings, this is going to make this team a very, very special team, man. And I just look forward to see by Sunday that Mitchell Robinson is gone and we got Valanciunas or something like that. And I'll see you in the morning probably. Let me go get some sleep.
All right, brother. Divine, your final words. And let me just say, y'all, if y'all still want to get into some more Nick talk in the chat and y'all still listen, State is on and State is wilding out right now. He's the 5th member of the Spice Girls. He's wilding out, Spice. He is going crazy on this show. So check him out if y'all still want to watch more Nick talk. Anyway, Divine, what's your final words, my brother?
First of all, thank y'all for having me, Brian. You already know how we do, man. And great show as always. Y'all make sure I hit the subscribe button, the like button, run them up with a thumbs up and everything. Real talk. But you know what, man? It's interesting. I know a lot of feelings and emotions and the sentimental value played into this thing and all that good stuff. But let me first tip my hat to Julius Randle. I've been a big Julius Randle fan since he's been here. I thought Julius Randle literally put this organization on his back when he got here and took us to where we need to go. So salute to him for being a soldier. Not only he's a good ball player, good character dude, good human being, good family man, the whole shebang. I mean, he really is. He's a good dude. But at the same time, this is the business of sports. Not sports no more. It's the business of sports. And them bottom line, them tickets got to get sold. And everything they got to make their money, man. And this is a shame when it come to that we came to the business of sports now. So it's about the name on the front, not the name on the back, like they always say. And I just think that we just got to set the flag. Do I think the Knicks is a better team? Yeah, because first of all, we didn't have Mikal Bridges last year, so I think they're gonna be a way better team. And you want to say Cat and Julius Randle wash each other out for that, making that team better? Forget them two. Just because you brought Mikal Bridges in here, we better than we were last year alone. Just alone, because these guys can defend the best players on any team in the league, literally. So when we go up against Boston, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. You go up against Paul George and Maxey, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. I think this team is going to be solid. I think Cat will change the way the Knicks play basketball just due to the fact that man can shoot 40% from downtown. Jalen Brunson can go down the lane all day if he at the 5. Now, I don't even think he's going to play the 5. I think he's going to play the 4. I think they're going to start the season with Jericho Sims, which is fine because we don't need him to score, rebound, grab rebound, block shots, let Cat play the 4, stretch the floor open, do what you do. I say all that to say that I'm optimistic because I think if I look at all the pieces that we have, I think these pieces fit well together. And I think that's what's more important. It's about the chemistry and camaraderie and make sure that they fit together. And I just think that it's Jalen Brunson's team. He's that superstar. And I think Cat never played with a guy like Jalen Brunson. Mike Conley was old when he got there. Ant-Man was a young little kid coming out of Chicago, Georgia when he got there. This is the first time in Cat career he ever played with a dude like this. Think about that. This is real talk. He never played with a dude with this much stardom on him to take the pressure off him. And Ant-Man he's still growing into that. And nobody else I ever seen that played with Cat was this good as Jalen Brunson is. So for that fact alone, I'm optimistic about Cat because he don't got the pressure like that no more. It's Jalen Brunson's team. I'm going to make sure that I make your life easier. He never had a point guard like this here. Never. Not when Tibbs had him, when he brought older Derrick Rose over there. So that's the reason why I'm optimistic, guys. Not because he's not a great player or he's a great player. I just think that I'm optimistic because of the system he's playing in. He never had a coach like Tibbs except for the first time that he coached with Tibbs. Finch is a good coach, but Finch ain't no Tom Thibodeau neither. You know what I mean? So I think Karl-Anthony Towns might be rejuvenated to come. It might, excuse me, guys, I'm gonna get off real quick. He might feel a certain type of way now because he in shock. We all in shock right now. Literally, we in shock. We here 2 a.m. like, damn, this. Like, what the hell? We in shock. So I think, can you imagine them players? I mean, so let's see. Man. I'm gonna stay optimistic about it because I do believe that this team got a solid starting 5, starting 4 for now, anyway. To me, but I think they got one of the better starting lineups in the NBA, and they can fulfill these other pieces with these guys playing a role, which Tibbs will bring the best out of them because he always do, like y'all said. This is a dangerous basketball team, ladies and gentlemen. They all two-way players. They all can play offense. They all can play defense. They all high IQ guys, like you said. So that's why I'm so optimistic about it because when it comes down to brass taxes, these boys are solid, man. And I'm really looking forward to the season. Let's hope they can put it all together and hope we can get there where we want to get to. And if not, then we can bash them later. But right now, I'm gonna stay courage about it, man. Let's go get it, New York. I'm locked in. I mean, these cats gonna have a good season, and I'm really looking forward to it. But other than that, salute Julius Randle, salute Divincenzo. Welcome my man Karl-Anthony Towns. Let's get it, man. It's New York and nothing. That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you on that. It is what it is. It is New York or nothing. And we play for we watch and we root for the name on the front, not the name on the back. So it's still rough. It's still a rough night. But we're gonna get through it. I just want to shout out. Thank you. Let me get the noise going for you, my brother. Hold on. There you go. Shout out to LA. Thank you for the generous super chat, my brother. He said he was gone once he didn't re-sign, and I'm in shock. I hear you, Liz. I think we all kind of sort of in shock. Obviously there are people that kind of already saw this coming. Ryan and Shaw all kind of saw something was going to happen. We didn't know Cat was going to happen, but you could see kind of like this is one of those. It was a 50-50. It could happen. But I just want to say to everybody, thank you guys for tuning in. As I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knicks fans will be back again, whether it be on emergency breaking news moment or
At 4:00 in the morning.
or Saturdays for Know the Ledge, which I want you guys to tune in if you can tomorrow. We're going to talk more about this and maybe get into it a little deeper. I'm going to look at some stuff in between now and tomorrow and see how this could work out, see the different lineups, just see what how this can really benefit the Knicks going forward. And then obviously you can, tune in on Monday when I get the chance to chop it up and talk to John about this. That'll be pretty interesting. So yeah, man. We just gotta keep it going, man. And as I always said, I've said it earlier today, the ups and downs, trials and tribulations, this player, that player, no matter what, in the end, we are still Knicks fans. So let's just keep it going and it's gonna work out. It just may not it may not be what we thought it was gonna be, but that don't mean it won't work, and that don't mean it won't be better. We have to kind of wrap our head around it and get used to what's going to happen. But time will tell, man. I definitely think it could work. I'm just still like dealing with it. I'm dealing with it. But yeah, man, once again, thank you guys. Thank you to everybody that showed up tonight. Sam, Nice, Shot, Divine, Keyshawn, my guy, the Objective Knicks fan. Thank you to everybody that jumped in. We go through this together, man. This is just a moment. It's historical because we all go back. Man, remember when they traded Julius Randle? We're gonna remember this. Like so.
Word.
Where were you that night when it happened?
Exactly, bro.
I know that much.
It's crazy.
2 in the morning.
And RIP to the Big 30 Matters merch. My bad. We just came up with merch and Dan didn't have a chance to really sell it, yo. Like, damn. Now I'm gonna have to come up with some cat stuff, maybe a cat with Karl-Anthony Towns face on it, or maybe get some whiskers on his. I don't know. I'm just joking, but yeah, man, it is what it is. Anyway, all right, y'all. Well, y'all have a great rest of your evening, man. Tomorrow you wake up, feel in better spirits, and understand that somehow this is going to work out. We're going to talk about the positives of it. Tomorrow's a new day, so let's just keep it going and not stress about it. We're going to be all right. Mm-hmm. We're going to be all right.
If your emotions go down, y'all just come check out the pregame show. I'll get you back up there. So
yeah, as I always tell you, man, Knicks Real Talk. They're gonna have you right. The pregame show stuff is gonna get everybody in the right frame of mind. Just give us some time. We'll get there.
Hey, Ron, Shy, and Divine, give me at least 3 or 5 games, or the preseason, or that started, and then maybe.
Right.
Got you, Nice. I feel you.
Yeah,
man.
I'm trying to
minute.
stay in that same optimism too, man. I just hope that this guy could be. I think he's going to be a great player with this team. So
you need a minute.
But with that, I see you in the morning, Ron. I'm gonna get off.
All
See you in the morning. Nice night. Peace, Ron. Peace, Divine. I taught you. Already taught you. And I'm out. Peace.
Have a blessing, guys.
I'm out as well, y'all. Later. Have a great rest of the day. Yes, sir. And believe me, one thing we're gonna see a lot of is this.
To the trade.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna see a lot of that, y'all. So stay tuned.
Sir.
Anyway, all right, y'all. I'm out.
All right, peace, everybody.
Freedom over fame. Freedom over cycle stays the same.